and welcome to South Kitsap High School. Tonight the Wolves take on Olympia in this Narrows League crossover game. So grab your popcorn and sit down in a comfortable chair because the kickoff is any minute. But first, the video production crew works very hard to put together these football games. Tonight, the best of the best has come together, so let's take a look at the crew.
Starting at camera one, he's a senior, he's a Star Wars fan, he's a third-year video student, he's Brett Gillard. At camera two, she's a frequent actress in Wolf Tracks, but she hasn't forgotten the little people and plans to one day be a counselor. Senior Heather Grantier. Backing them up, second-year video student, a guy planning to go to college to get rich, senior Lonnie Johnson. On the sideline camera, he's a wizard with technical stuff, but his future goals are unclear because we can't read his handwriting, Ryan Berdinka. Also on the sideline, his greatest video achievement is making this all-star crew. He's quiet and likes long walks on the beach. Matt Meeker, sideline reporter. She's planning to pursue a business career, and she wears funny hats with ears on them. Amy Powell. Starting at audio and graphics, he often suffers from severe hat hair and plans a television career. JJ Duncan, starting tape operator. He plans to attend Evergreen College and make us all wish we'd been nicer to him when he's famous. Chris Nelson. And splitting the director's chair. She's coming off major surgery but is playing through the pain and hopes to soon be back on her snowboard, Nikki Bilodeau. And the second half director. He plans to pursue a broadcasting career while also setting a peanut butter consumption record. He affectionately refers to himself as the man, Ben Blankenship. And those are the 2002 Video Production All-Stars.
While the gunners exit the field. Let us not forget, Veterans Day Monday, all the veterans who help make this country great and free. Please be seated.
Hello everyone and welcome to Joe Knowles Field at South Kitsap High School for tonight's 4A high school contest between the South Kitsap Wolves and the Olympia Bears. I'm Darren Bowden, and joining me in the booth tonight is the head coach of Cedar Heights Junior High School in the South Kitsap School District, Carrie Krumzik, and we'd like to welcome Carrie to the booth tonight as we are getting ready for this playoff game, which is essentially what it is, because tonight's winner will go on to the first round of the state football playoffs for 4A classification, and the loser will have an early exit. The South Kitsap Wolves come into tonight's game with a record of 8-0 and ranked 6th in the AP polls in the state of Washington, and the Olympia Bears come in with a record of 6-2 after coming off of a mini playoff last Tuesday. The Bears finished in a three-way tie for second place in the Bay Division of the Narrows League and ended up the third seed on the Bay side of the bridge. So tonight will be an important game for both sides as playoff implications come into play. The winner of tonight's game will go on next week to the first round of the Washington State playoffs for the 4A classification. They will end up playing the winner of the SPSL North #1 seed, Kent Ridge, who this year is ranked 3rd in the state and 9-0, as they will be playing the Kingco #3 team, Redmond High School. And the winner of that game will play the winner of tonight's game at a neutral site, which will be determined. So we have a pretty good evening for football here. It was raining earlier, but the conditions are a little bit wet and muddy on the field, Kerry. And what kind of an impact can that have onto tonight's game?
Well, that's one of the keys of the game tonight is the weather. You're going to see two offenses possibly want to run the ball a little bit more, but still want to try to balance out the offense with a decent passing game. But I'm forecasting that we're going to have two offensive teams trying to control the ball by running. Second is the weather. What's going to happen with that ball? Sometimes the turnover game has some implication on who controls the game a little bit more than the other. So good handoffs, good exchanges. It's going to be necessary to be successful tonight.
Well, back to receive for the Bears as the Wolves go for an onside kick. So quickly the Wolves go for a little trickery here, and maybe not necessarily an onside kick, but just a little pooch kick. And number 27, Cody Costello for Olympia, fair catches the ball, and it will be at Olympia's 40-yard line. So right away the Wolves deferred and elected to kick off, which means they'll get the ball in the second half, as Olympia runs. The first play from scrimmage is a running play to the left side. John Costuros, a 6'1", 195-pound senior, with the first carry, and he gets a couple on the play, so it'll be second down for the Bears. And we are looking forward to an excellent game tonight. South Kitsap with a long playoff streak on the line, too, at stake here this evening at Joe Knowles Field. So it'll be 2nd and 8 for Olympia as they hand the ball off to Costuros again, but he's not going anywhere as the Wolves stay at home, and they snuff out that running play. It's going to be 3rd down. He'll lose a couple. We'll say that he loses one. It'll be 3rd and 9 for Olympia. So right off the bat, the Olympia Bears with a couple of quick huddles here too, doing the play calling tonight. Number 7, Kurt Thatcher, as he rolls out to his right. He's looking for a man out in the flat, and it's going to be incomplete. His intended receiver was number 1, Pat McCann. But just like that, 3 and out. And I'll tell you, Kerry, this is going to be very important for the Wolves to try and sustain the Bears from gaining any yardage.
Oh, that was a great first defensive series. Nick Anderson, number 8 on the right side, outside linebacker. He did a good job 2 plays in a row snuffing out the run to the outside. They tried to go to a passing play and incomplete. What could be much better than that than starting out with a 3 and out?
So the Bears kick away to Richard Fine, who is back at his 30, and he decides to field the ball after a couple of hops. He doesn't get very far, so the Wolves will have decent field position on their own side, just inside their 30-yard line. We'll call it, they'll have the ball at their own 31-yard line. So right away, the Wolves will come out with a high-powered offense led by number 24, Victor Valle at tailback, and also big Josh Fullington, a 6'6 junior, who's been having a really good year. So right now, the Wolves will see what they can do on offense as they send 2 wide receivers to the right. They split Cody McCulley and Fine to the right side and are in the I formation. Fullington hands the ball off to Victor Valle. He tries to make his way off left guard. He gets a couple on the play. It'll be 2nd down for the Wolves. So right away, the Wolves come out running the ball as well.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the South Kitsap Wolves want to establish the running game. And why wouldn't they with Victor Valle back there?
The Wolves coming off a difficult game and a great game last week against the Gig Harbor Tides, and it was basically for the Bridge Division Championship in the Narrows League, coming away with a 21-14 win in overtime. So the Wolves are looking to do some damage here early as Fullington hands the ball off to Victor Valle. He tries to bounce off to the outside, but he's quickly taken down. Nice tackle by number 20, Desmond Davis, who comes up, forcing Valle to go down quickly. So Valle gets a few on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Looked like it was a play designed to come up the off the tackle hole, but Valle had to stretch it out a little bit with the pursuing defense.
Hiram Davis now in the game for the Wolves as he splits to the far right. Andy Sund also in the flat. Fullington under center. He fakes the handoff. He's got a man, and he's got Hiram Davis. Nice pass. The pass is complete. The ball will be placed at midfield. A nice throw from Fullington, hitting Hiram Davis at midfield. And I'll tell you, Kerry, that is one big mud bowl right there at midfield.
Oh yeah, now this is where they want to make sure they're keeping their feet and keeping their bodies over them appropriately. What set up that pass for Josh was just selling the run. Gave him plenty of time to sit back there, let the receivers run their routes, and he made a great pass.
Fullington's done a great job all year with the snap count as the Wolves now send trips to the left side. Fullington hands the ball off to Valle. He slips his way through. Looks like his footing, it was hard to get footing down there in that little mud bowl.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about. Got to keep our feet. That was a good little trap, though. Good little trap by SK offense.
Valle gained 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 for South Kitsap. So the Wolves maintaining the running game here early in the first quarter of play. Richard Fine split to the far right side of the field. Fullington, they hand the ball off to Valle again. And he's hit down hard as a penalty flag comes flying into the pile there. And that's usually in the area of holding, which it is, so they'll scoot the Wolves back another 10 yards. Valle gained a few yards on the play, but that will all be negated by a holding penalty against the offensive line for South Kitsap.
Holding on the offense. The second half.
Tonight's officiating crew, Steve Green is the referee, Ricky Brown is the umpire, and Leo Covey is the linesman. The line judge is Rob Schauger, the back judge Gary Flesher, and the alternate is Drew Jackson. So the Wolves will have a second and 15 to go here as they send 2 wide receivers to the right side. Fullington fakes the handoff. He rolls out to his left. He's being flushed out of the puck. He's got Andy Sun, and and he drops the ball. He had Andy Sun. He had Andy Sun at the 30-yard line. Sun jumped up in the air and hit him right in the numbers, but he wasn't able to hang on to it. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd down for the Wolves.
It was a good looking boot all the way around. We got to execute and you got to catch the ball.
Got to hang on to the ball in situations like that, but it is early here, so Andy Sun, who has surprisingly been a valuable asset on offense, and as the Wolves will break the huddle here, they send 2 wide receivers to the right side. It'll be 3rd down and 15 for the Wolves as Fullington looks over the defense. He drops straight back. They hand the ball off onto, that's John Shepard, number 27, Shepard into the game there. The Wolves just trying to get a little bit of yardage back, and they will kick the ball away and try and force Olympia to have the ball deep in their own territory as Nick Anderson comes out to do the kicking duties for the Wolves. So both sides getting one opportunity on offense and neither one being able to do anything so far. It'll be 4th down and 10 for the Wolves right at midfield. Pat McCann back to receive the kick. Anderson with a quick kick. McCann will have the ball just inside his own 10-yard line. He bobbled the ball a little bit, tries to juke and jive a little, but he's going to be quickly taken down. That was a nice tackle by number 34, Chris Anderson, as he's right on top of that play. But the Bears get the ball back and will have 1st and 10 in their own territory.
With a cold night and weather like this, field position is going to be a key. Starting at the 18-yard line, that puts the pressure on the Bears. Here comes SK defense.
So Olympia breaks the huddle quickly. Thatcher drops back. The ball is tipped. It was intended for McCann in the right side, in the right flat. Devin Spencer reaching up there. Actually, I think that was 68. That looked like Brad Osman.
Yeah, defensive linemen, as soon as they identify that it's pass, they need to be charging back and having their hands up.
Mitch Baroni up there getting his hand up too as the Bears have another running play off left guard. Not much on the gain. It'll be quickly a 3rd down. So the Bears aren't fooling around. They're coming out of those huddles quickly. It'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go for Olympia.
The ball carrier. He's struck down by Chris Anderson.
Yeah, they're spreading it out in twins here, Darren. DB.
They send 4 wide receivers. Thatcher drops back. They're looking for a little screen pass, and it's overthrown. The pass was intended for Jason Kirk, a 6-foot sophomore, 180 pounds. They sent twins wide receivers, spread out the defense a little bit, setting up that screen, but nothing there. So it'll be 4th down, quickly a 4th down. And Olympia, again, not much on offense. They'll be kicking away as Richard Fine and Pat Kelly are deep to receive. The kick is up. It's a short kick. Richard Fine, fair catches just inside. It'll be at the 48-yard line. So the Wolves will take over. So just like that, Kerry, not much on offense by Olympia.
No, that's 6 plays and 2 offensive series. It looks like they're trying to establish a balanced offensive attack with some pass and some run, but nothing going on right now. But SK gets to start out at the 48-yard line of Olympia, and field position again, like I said a few minutes ago, is going to be very important. This could be put SK knocking on the door right away.
These teams trying to get away from that mud bowl right in the middle of the field as Fullington hands the ball off to Valle, hits the hole hard. He gets a few yards on the carry. We'll call it 4. It'll be 2nd down for the Wolves as they get just inside the 45. We'll call it at the 44. So early on, like you said, Kerry, both teams trying to establish that running game on some muddy, slippery conditions. And if they're able to do that, they'd be able to start opening up the passing game as well, as Hiram Davis is now back in the game for the Wolves. He split to the far left side of the field. Fullington hands the ball off to Valle. They try to run a counter, but it's snuffed out. Here comes another penalty flag. The tackle was made by Mike Dowling for Olympia, but that's usually in the area of holding. And that's just what Steve Green indicates, holding on the Wolves. So that's a 2nd holding penalty by the offensive line, and we'll scoot the Wolves back another 10 yards. And I'll tell you, Kerry, that's one thing that could make a difference in a game too, are turnovers and penalties. And so far, we've seen a couple of penalties by the offensive line for South Kitsap.
Yeah, the linemen have a hard job. They've got to get a good block. They got to sustain that block for a few seconds, and like where they're at right now in the middle of that mud bowl, if they're slipping around, sometimes a tendency to give a quick hold or a tackle for an offensive lineman ends up costing the team more than you think.
Hate to take away big gains from penalties, but we'll see what the Wolves can do here. It'll be 2nd down and 16 to go at their own 45-yard line as Fullington drops straight back. He's looking for the slant. He's got Nick Anderson, but the pass is incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. Nick Anderson, about a 5-yard slant heading inward. Fullington, a nice 3-step drop, threw it just a hair behind Anderson, but nonetheless, the ball was very catchable, but it will be incomplete. 3rd down for the Wolves. So far, both sides having a little difficulty getting things going as Big John Fuchs and Nick Anderson come out of the game for the Wolves.
Back into I formation.
Hiram Davis split to the far right side. Fullington under center. He drops back. He's looking for Fine. He's going down to the left side. He's got him open, and it is incomplete. Nice defense by number 3, Anthony Norrell.
Cornerback did a nice job. He stayed on the wide receiver's hip. Ball come down, boom. Taps it away at the last second. Nice defensive play.
Fullington had Fine. Fine had about half a step on the defender, but the defender, Norrell, did a great job of reaching out at the last second, knocking the ball down. Great defense there by Olympia. So, again, it'll be 4th down as Pat McCann is back to receive the punt at his own 5-yard line. Nick Anderson doing the punting again. He'll be standing at his own 35. A quick kick as they go for the block. McCann slips. He's going to let the ball bounce, and it is going to bounce inside. Oh, and it is down at the 1-yard line. What a great kick by Nick Anderson, a 65-yard kick. It will be down. In fact, I think
No, I think
that's
it's a
inside
5.
the 1 yard
No,
line.
I think it's 5. I think it's the 5 yard line.
Is that the 5 yard
Yep.
line? One
I
of these
tell you,
days-
that's when you're punt returning. You've got. I know it's a tough job there, but you got to try to field that and move it up the field. Again, field position is costing Olympia here.
So Olympia will have the ball deep in their own territory. They go for the quick run up the middle. The ball was given to number 25, Jason Kirk. Kirk gets about 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6 for Olympia. So, and you know, when I get my eyesight fixed, I might be able to start placing the ball correctly. So Olympia comes out with 2 wide receivers to the right side. They hand the ball off again. Not much on the gain, though. It's going to be 3rd down. Jason Kirk on the carry one more time. Quickly, it'll be 3rd down for Olympia. 3rd down and 3 to go. Key 3rd down right here. If the Wolves can hold them here, they might be able to get the ball back in really good field position.
That's interesting. On this 3rd series, they've tried 2 plays up the middle. The 1st series, they tried to go outside the first 2 plays. The 2nd series, they came out past it, and now the third series here, they're trying to run up the middle.
Well, they're split out in twins once again. As Thatcher looks back, he's looking possibly for the screen, and there's the man. He does get it this time, and he will have the 1st down. So the last time the Bears ran the twins formation, they ran that screen play and overthrew the man, but this time he gets the ball to Kirk, and Kirk says, beam me up, Scotty, and move me down to the 1st down marker.
Who should be on the person who should be on the running back is most likely an inside linebacker. So somehow they got away from him or just wasn't able to keep up with him on that one.
So Olympia gets its first down of their offensive series. Thatcher sends a man in motion. He rolls to his left. He's looking for a man, and he's got him open coming across the middle. Oh, and it's incomplete. Pat McCann was coming back down the middle. Thatcher had him and hit him in a really bad spot, right in the hands.
You hate it when that one happens.
That's a coach's nightmare when a man's wide open and it hits him right in the hands and they're dropping the ball. So it'll be 2nd down for Olympia, golden opportunity for the Bears.
Sometimes over the middle it scares the receivers a little bit, but they got to come up with that ball.
The Bears have the ball at about the 15-yard line. They hand the ball off again to Kirk, but he's not getting very far on this one. The Wolves stack him up. Jason Kirk, a 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore, getting a lot of the running duties tonight for the Bears. Seen a lot of good sophomores in the Narrows League this year. A lot of promising players coming up through the system as the Bears will face a 3rd down as they send 2 wide receivers to the right. Thatcher rolls to his right. He's looking for a man out in the flat, and he's got him, and it is incomplete. The pass was a little low from Thatcher to, that looks like Cody Costello out in the flat, but it will be incomplete, so the Bears will have to kick it away again. So the Bears miss a golden opportunity early as they had a man open. Thatcher has been able to, he's missed his last 2 passing attempts as Richard Fine will be at the Olympia 45-yard line to receive the punt. The kick is up. It's a low kick.
Oh.
It's off the, shanks it
And
off
out
the
of
side
bounds.
of his foot, and it goes way to the left. So the Wolves get a break there, and they'll have the ball at in very good field position in Olympia territory. So the Wolves will try and capitalize on some mishaps by Olympia and start out with really good field position.
Kind of surprising right now that the score is 0-0. Olympia's field position starting out probably around the 20-yard line, where South's probably averaging close to midfield. He's got to sustain a drive.
The ball will be placed at the 38-yard line. So South Kitsap getting some good field position here as Hiram Davis comes out of the game. The Wolves send a lone wide receiver to the left, but the whistle is going to blow here. That might be an indication of too much time, and it is. It's a delay of game, so the Wolves get their 3rd penalty of the game. 2 holding penalties adding on to a delay of game penalty. And
costly. It puts them in the in what we're calling the mud bowl tonight.
Like we said, penalties are something that can hurt a team, so you don't want to get into that early, especially early on in a game, as some of the South Kitsap coaches are just sort of shaking their head, wondering why in the world we're getting all these penalties. So the Wolves will have a 1st and 15 as Fullington, he hands the ball off to Valle. He's getting a little bit of room, and he's taken down quickly. A nice tackle by John Costeros. But not before a big gain by Victor Valle, but I'll take care. He had a nice opening there to gain all those yards.
No, he did a nice job running the ball, and as you can tell, he's holding on that ball tight. It is wet out there. Sure, the ball has a little bit of dampness on there, so you can see that he had both arms wrapped around that ball tight.
Like we said earlier, when you get near the midfield here at Joe Knowles Field, it's pretty muddied out there, especially when it rains, and maybe some of the players are having a little bit of difficulty adjusting to getting their footing down. So as the Wolves come out, they hand the ball off a counter to Victor Valle, and he gets out to the right side, but he'll be taken down quickly. Nice defense there by the Bears. Number 54, Tyrone Davis, helping on the tackle for the Bears. It'll be 3rd down as Fullington gets the play from head coach DJ Sigurdsson from the sideline. Chris Anderson now coming out of the game too.
Yeah, that counter looked pretty good in the development, but Olympia shut it down right away.
The Bears have been doing a pretty good job adjusting to the running plays up front, as Cody McCauley is split to the far right. Fullington, he's looking for a man, and he's got a screen play. And it's batted down by number 65, Eric Martin. The screen pass was right there. Fullington just kind of threw it to an area. It was looking for Cody McCauley, but the pass was incomplete, and I'll tell you, if McCauley catches that ball, he had a lot of green in front of him.
Yeah, looked like he read that pass was coming. He kind of just sat back and read quarterback's eyes, and boom. He almost had it.
The Wolves were very successful with that screen pass a week ago against the Gig Harbor Tides, and tonight Eric Martin said, I'm not letting you guys have that screen pass. So it'll be 4th down, and the Wolves will go for it as they go with the quick handoff up the middle.
And I don't think they're going to make it, DD.
I don't think he got it either. That was Chris Anderson on the carry. We'll have to wait for the spot of the ball, and it is going to be very close. I would imagine we might have a measurement here. Nope, he's not close. So the Bears come up big on defense, stop the Wolves here. They had great field position to start, but Olympia did a great job on defense, and they were unable to, the Wolves were unable to capitalize on offense. So both sides here with just under a minute to play in the first quarter, unable to get any points off the board. As Thatcher will hand the ball off to Kirk, he tries to spin his way around. Not much on the gain there, as time is going to wind down here quickly in the first quarter of play. So both sides so far not putting any points on the board in a defensive matchup. Pat McCann split to the far right of the field. Thatcher sends a man in motion. He fumbles the ball on the snap, but he's able to fall on it. So right there, Kerry, we see that the handling of the ball is getting a little slippery.
Previous play, the tacklers.
He didn't lose much on the play. And it'll be 3rd down and 10 yards to go for Olympia.
But that center quarterback exchange is going to be so important tonight. It's going to be so important. It costs you a play like that. Instead of being 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 9, you're at 3rd and 10, and you had no chance.
And just as fast as we were talking about the field conditions, it is now starting to rain here at South Kitsap High School. So it really looks like it might turn into a true mud bowl here soon, as there is a timeout on the field. I believe that was South Kitsap's first timeout. I didn't see the signal as to who called the timeout, so nonetheless, we do have a timeout with just over 6 seconds left here in the first quarter of play, as it is lightly raining now, and that was a forecast for the weather that we heard tonight, that we might have periodical showers of rain coming down. So we'll see how both teams adjust to the weather conditions as the Olympia Bears break the huddle quickly after this timeout. So Thatcher's ready to go. He drops back. He's looking for a man, and he's got a man wide open. Nice catch. That's number 15. That's John Costuros, and it will be a first down. So a nice pass play, Thatcher to Costuros, right at the end of the first quarter of play. So here we are at South Kitsap High School. We are at scoreless at 0, as we will have a field change here. They will take the ball and put it to another end here. So while the officials are doing that, we'll go to a commercial break. So at the end of the first quarter of play here, the South Kitsap Wolves and the Olympia Bears are scoreless, and we have seen a very good defensive game here tonight. Both sides on offense have had a little bit of difficulty getting things going, but it will soon pick up. I can just feel it, as this basically is a playoff game. The South Kitsap Wolves are the #1 seed from the Bridge division of the Narrows League, and the Olympia Bears are the #3 team from the Bay division of the Narrows League, and the winner will go on next week to the first round of the state playoffs for 4A. So it's football weather, and it's playoff season, and as we are getting ready for the first snap of the second quarter of play here.
Yeah, I'm glad, DB, that you've explained these playoff scenarios, because I think a lot of people on the peninsula or just spectators in general don't understand the situation we had going on tonight.
And Jason Kirk gets a big carry right up the middle. A huge gain on the play. A gain of about 13 yards. So a big pass play and completion from Thatcher to McCann, that was Costuros at the end of the first quarter. And now big Jason Kirk gets a big run here. So the Bears are in business as they try and run the ball straight up the middle again, but he doesn't get much there. So Kirk with the carry one more time. That ball just kind of fumbling around a little bit down there on that muddy patch of the field. It'll be second down and about 8 yards to go.
Yeah, that wing T offense can be deceiving, and once in a while they are going to break for a good run. You can't stop it. Once in a while it will get you. That's the whole deception of that offense.
Olympia with some multiple sets. They pitched the ball out to Kirk.
Outside backer did a good job with his containment.
Kirk getting another carry with the little quick pitch to the right side. He gets a few on the play. It'll be third down and about 6 yards to go for the Bears.
As long as the SK defense takes their time with their keys and their read steps, they should be able to identify where the ball's going, and then from there just do their job.
So the Bears looking to pick up a first down here. Thatcher under center. He drops back. He's looking for a man. He almost slips. He does. He has a man out in the flat. That's McCann.
That's another first down, DB.
A nice pass play from Thatcher to McCann. Thatcher dropped back, a little five-stepper, and kind of lost his footing, but stayed on his feet. So, like we said, Kerry, the middle of that field, that muddy patch there can be pretty difficult, as now they send twins
to both sides. What are we expecting here? Possibly a screen?
Well, they hand the ball off to Kirk straight up the middle, so they've got multiple plays coming out of that twins formation. They've run a couple of screen plays, and now they hand the ball off to Kirk, who runs straight up the middle. So the Bears trying to get something going here on offense. Thatcher fakes the handoff. He rolls to his right, but nice defensive play there. Nice stop. That was number 9, Anthony Aguirre. Great defense right there. The pass was complete, but Aguirre was right on top of it. A gain of 6 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Bears. So Olympia trying to get a little momentum going here in the first half of play.
Yep, they've had 3 to 4 third down conversions in this drive, so let's see what they can do right here.
Thatcher sends a man in motion. They hand the ball off to Kirk one more time. He tries to get his way up the middle. Not very much on the play, but he could be close to that first down marker. We'll have to wait and see where they spot the ball.
Looks like it's close, but I think it's probably in go for it territory. I don't think the Olympia coach will question it very long. They'll probably be going for it right off the bat.
You're right there, Coach. It's fourth down and inches to go, less than a yard. So the Bears will most likely be going for it. It would be a very long field goal.
Quick out of the huddle as usual. Here they come.
Ball's at the 28-yard line. It'd be a 45-yard field goal. Oh, and they get the defense offside. That was number 34, Chris Anderson, for the Wolves. So looks like the Bears will get the automatic first down. And like we said, another penalty. Offside on the defense is the call from referee Steve Green. So give the Bears an automatic first down, and the Wolves have to be getting a little concerned here as the Bears are they're not wasting any time. They're going to get out right away. As Thatcher drops back, he's got a man out in the end zone. He's looking for him, and the ball is incomplete. Pat Kelly was on the coverage. He was looking for McCann in the corner of the end zone, but the pass was incomplete, and at first it was almost looked like it was going to be pass interference because Kelly didn't turn around and look at the ball.
I think he was a little off balance. He got turned around twice right there at the end. I am surprised that he didn't get called for face blocking. Or
the defender has to turn around and see the ball, or it could be a pass interference, but luckily the Wolves didn't get flagged there as they hand the ball off to Kirk. But he's driven hard by Chris Anderson, taken backwards. Nice job by Chris Anderson. Not much on the play. It's going to be third down for Olympia. So the Wolves looking to stop the Bears here. That's two powerful matchups right there, a Wolf and a Bear. I don't know which one I'd take on that one.
It'd be interesting to see the record there.
That'd be a big Bear and a big Wolf. So Olympia, a little confusion up front there. A little movement by both sides. We're not sure who it is.
Defensive lineman pointing right away at the left guard.
This time, you're right, Kerry. This time it's the offense that is flagged for. There looked like there was a little bit of motion going on both sides, but the offensive line, I think, was flagged for that one. So scoot Olympia back 5 more yards. So now it'll be third down and 13 yards to go for the Bears.
As any coach will tell you, there is no excuse for them defensive linemen to be offsides. As long as they're watching the ball.
The ball's at the 25 as Thatcher drops back. He's looking for somebody. He's flushed out of the pocket. Oh, he's got a man wide open. He gets behind the defense, and the pass is complete. He's almost in the end zone. Put him out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. That's number 6, Eric Leach. Leach was heading down the right side and was able to get behind the defense. Nobody was there, and Thatcher hit him. The pass was complete, so the Bears are knocking on the door here in the first half of play, trying to get some points on the board.
I think the key there, DB, is that the quarterback had too much time. He had too much time to sit back there, decide, move around, decide, boom. Finally, something opened up. When you have that much time, chances are you are going to make a good completion.
As there is a timeout on the field, Olympia calls a timeout. And you're right, Thatcher dropped back and lightly rolled out to the right side, and he had all kinds of time to look for an open man, and that's exactly what happened as Leach was able to get behind the defender, and Thatcher did a nice job of putting the ball right in the numbers. So Olympia will have the ball first and goal at the 4-yard line, trying to get into the end zone in this scoreless game.
DB, this has been a very impressive drive. I think is that their 5th third down conversion, or was that third down? But that's to convert to get 5-6 first downs on a drive. That's pretty darn good.
Well, Olympia has finally gotten their feet sunk into the ground here. Their first offensive series, they've had a hard time getting something done. kind of chipping away at it, but they're threatening here.
They're stacking all 11 in the box here on offense.
First and goal for Olympia. They hand the ball, or no, Thatcher fakes it, and he's going to try and get it in, and he does get into the end zone. Touchdown, Olympia.
2 tacklers came in on him, and he just charged right on through him.
Kurt Thatcher, nice fake on the handoff. He faked this out up here. He faked the handoff and rolled out to his right, was looking for a man in the end zone, but tucked it in and ran it in, jumped up into the air and crossed the plane of the goal line. So the Bears get into the end zone for the first time as Clayton Dickey will get set up for the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 8:05 remaining in the first half of play, the Olympia Bears come into Joe Knowles Stadium here at South Kitsap High School and get on the board first, and Kerry, the coaches have to be a little concerned for South Kitsap.
Yeah, I thought one of the keys tonight would be offensive possession. And going back and forth for the first 3 to 4 series, Olympia's finally taken charge, and I think they took a good 8-9 minutes out of this drive there. I don't know if it was that long, but yeah, they have taken control of time and possession on offense. For SK now, they need to do the same. They need to come back with their offense, establish the running game, put a little pass in there, and get it moving down the field.
Well, their first offensive series that Olympia had, it seemed like most of them were just 3 plays and they were out, but this time they sustained a nice drive and are able to get into the end zone. A 4-yard touchdown run by Kurt Thatcher, and the Bears lead the Wolves 7-0 here at South Kitsap High School. But there's a lot of football left here, and you know, Kerry, one of the strengths of South Kitsap is that they are able to outlast their opponents. That conditioning that they have is very, very strong. As number 9, well, that's number 8, excuse me, Sam Dinsmore kicks the ball off, and Richard Fine is on the reception for the kickoff, and the Wolves will actually have pretty good field position. So nice return by Richard Fine, and the Wolves will start at near their own 30-yard line. So the Wolves will try and get something going on offense here, and Kerry, they'd sure like to get that ball in the end zone before halftime.
Oh, yes. This is not a position that SK is not unfamiliar with. They've been behind before this year, but again, this squad, they're a bunch of fighters. This means nothing to them. Just they got to get going and bring the fight out of them.
Fullington hands the ball off to Victor Valle one more time. He scoots across the line of scrimmage for a gain of about 4 yards. It'll be second down for the Wolves as it is now lightly raining again.
Tell you, DB, I'm waiting for number 24 to get into some free area. He can take off at any time.
You get Victor Valle to the outside at any time, and he's hard to bring down, and that's just a good possibility that might happen here this evening as the Wolves face a 2nd and 6 as Fullington hands the ball off to Valle again, but he's quickly taken down. Right there, there's a couple of Bears to hunt him down, and Valle goes down after a couple in the play, so it'll be 3rd down for the Wolves. The Wolves have primarily been running the ball this evening. Not a lot of big gains on the play.
No.
But we've been seeing they've just been chipping away, gaining a few yards, 4, 5, 6 yards at a time, and trying to establish that running game as Hiram Davis is split far to the right. 3rd down for the Wolves, 3rd and 5 as Fullington fakes the handoff. He's got a man and he's got Hiram Davis, but the pass is thrown a little behind him. It is incomplete. It was intended for Hiram Davis. He was around the 45-yard line, but it is incomplete. And it will be 4th down, and the Wolves will have to kick the ball away to Olympia. And we kind of see like maybe a little bit of momentum is going the way of the Olympia Bears.
Definitely, DB. Definitely. They're feeling to get SK to go on a 3-and-out here. That's given Olympia some confidence. I think their offense is going to come out thinking that if they can establish another great drive, they can give a nice punch in the gut to SK.
Nick Anderson kicks the ball away. It's going to take a couple of bounces, fielded by Pat McCann, but he just falls down on it, which was the smart thing to do. He looked like he was going to try and pick it up. He was out about the 32-yard line, and it took a couple of bounces, but he wisely fell down on the ball to maintain possession. So a turnover of possession there the Wolves having to kick again on 4th down, and Olympia will start with the ball at their own 32-yard line.
With plenty of time, 6.5 minutes still to go in the second quarter.
Thatcher hands the ball off to Kirk as he hits the line hard. He goes off right guard, and he'll have a nice gain on the play. He'll have a gain of about 5 yards. It'll be second and we'll call it 6 yards. It'll be second down for as they come out in the quick huddle. And you bet there is a penalty on the flag.
No play, so it looks like probably a false start.
The Bears, actually I think that might be on South Kitsap. They might have had too many men on the field. The Bears came out with a quick huddle.
Illegal substitution.
The Wolves were not expecting a quick huddle there, and they tried to make a substitution. That was number 68, Brad Osman, who was trying to come out of the game, and who now goes back in, and Clayton Hutchins comes in. But the Olympia Bears had a quick huddle and did not allow the Wolves any time to make the legal substitution, catching them off guard. So the Bears trying to get the Wolves a couple of more penalties, which they're doing, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Olympia as they hand the ball off to Kirk. There goes Kirk! He gets a big hole in the line of scrimmage, and he gets a gain of about 15 on the play. It'll be 1st down Olympia.
Well, that was a nice open hole right in the middle, DB.
Jason Kirk with a big hole.
Right side of the line doing a very nice job there for him to give him that hole.
So Olympia trying to catch the Wolves off guard. A lot of quick huddles here. Thatcher drops back. He's looking for a man, and he's got McCann. He's got the man down, and it's caught. Touchdown, Olympia!
He had him beat. He had him by 2 steps, and all the quarterback had to do is get the ball to him, and he did. It is touchdown.
Kurt Thatcher with the touchdown pass to Pat McCann. A nice throw. McCann got behind the defense, and just like that, the Bears get into the end zone one more time. As the Bears go for the extra point, the kick is up, and it is good. And with 5:45 remaining here in the first half of play, the Olympia Bears lead the South Kitsap Wolves 14-0.
Yeah, I'd have to DB, that was a 68-yard drive, I believe, and they didn't take but 45, 50 seconds off the clock.
Olympia did a nice job of maintaining possession on that play. They've adjusted well to the defense of South Kitsap, and I think the one thing that has caught the Wolves off guard is the quickness of their huddles. They've been breaking the huddles real fast. They caught the Wolves offside, trying to have an illegal substitution. But they've been hurrying up to the line of scrimmage, and they've been gaining some momentum their way. But like we said earlier, Kerry, there's a lot of football left. You can never count out any game that South Kitsap is involved in. As the Wolves will get ready to receive, Richard Fine and Pat Kelly are back to receive as the
another pooch kick.
Bears go for the little pooch kick. That's John Shepard up front who gets the ball, and he does a good job. He gets about 10 yards on the return.
What do you think, DB? Would you do that as, as a coach? 5 minutes left. I don't know if a pooch is what I'd do. For me, I think with 5 minutes left, I just scored a touchdown to go up 14-0. I'd try to send her deep, put them now South Kitsap at the 50-yard line. That's a pretty good field goal position that they gave them.
Well, I think that the head coach for Olympia has the head coach Bill Beatty, who has a lot of confidence in his defense right now. And as Victor Valle gets the pitch and he tries to get to the outside, there goes Victor Valle, but he's going to be taken down. Victor Valle almost breaking it loose right there. He gets about 5 yards on the carry. It'll be second down for the Wolves. But what you were saying earlier about that is I think that under normal circumstances that you would want to kick the ball deep. But I think that the Bears are so confident right now that they're just trying to get the little pooch kick.
Give it a try and try to get the ball back.
And rely on their defense to make all the stops, and they've been doing a nice job with it so far. But it really doesn't matter against South Kitsap whether they start long or far away. They're gonna really come at you hard. As Tommy Patrick is now in, a junior quarterback, giving Fullington a spill. And the second down play here, a running
Short
play.
game.
Straight up the middle to Valle. Looked like he had a little bit of difficulty gaining his footing down there on that muddy patch of the field as it continues to rain here at Joe Knowles Field at South Kitsap High School. So it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Wolves. So the Wolves break the huddle and come out in the I formation. Nick Anderson is split to the right side. Tommy Patrick, he fakes the handoff. He's rolling to his right. He's got a man open, but Patrick is just going to keep it, and I think he's going to get. Oh, and they want a nice hit.
Whoa!
He was hit well out of bounds. I can't believe they didn't throw the flag right there. Coach Sigurdsson has got to be upset that there was no penalty flag right there. I don't think the Olympia guy was trying to hurt him. I know that, but boy, he hit him a good couple of 2-3 yards out of bounds. Nonetheless, he's okay, and the Wolves will have a first down, but boy, that can be scary there, Kerry, when you get somebody like that who gets hit hard out of bounds.
Oh yeah, they're you run out of bounds and you feel like the play's over, and boom, that shot comes to you. It'll rock you.
Tommy Patrick is a tough kid, though. As he stops, he's got Nick Anderson. He's
pass.
going for a long. He's got the pass is intercepted. The pass is intercepted by number 26, Tim Ireland. He had Nick Anderson, but it was just slightly underthrown a little bit. And the Olympia Bears intercept the pass, and it will be down at the 5-yard, just inside the 5-yard line. So just like that, a turnover, and the Olympia Bears take over, but deep in their own territory.
Just a hair bit underthrown, DB.
We'll have a quick stoppage of play down here as they are looking to try and get the chain set on the sideline. Had a little confusion down there. Then there they go. The chains are now set, quickly ready to go. The line judge setting everything up as Thatcher hands the ball off to Kirk. Kirk sneaks his way through the line. He barrels over the linebacker, getting near the first down marker.
Nice 8-yard gain.
Kirk doing a good job of running the ball. Cody McCulley's coming out of the game now, appears to be slightly injured, holding his right wrist. As Kirk gets 9 yards on the carry, it'll be 2nd and 1. Thatcher hands the ball off to Kirk one more time. He keeps driving the knees forward, and he'll get past the 20. It'll be a first down for the Olympia Bears. So Olympia, with 3:35 remaining here in the game, more momentum going for them. Pat McCann split far right. Thatcher hands the ball off to Kirk one more time. Kirk tries to get to the outside, but a flag comes flying in, and that's usually in the area of holding.
Right there in the middle of the pack there as he was coming through the hole.
And it will be holding on the Olympia Bears, so a nice gain right there, negated by another penalty, so the Wolves cut a break.
Just like a few minutes ago, they're costly for SK. Now this one is going to be costly for the Olympia Bears. With 3.5 minutes to go, possibly hampering an opportunity to move down this field and give SK a chance to get this ball back.
South Kitsap in unfamiliar territory, being down 14-0 on their home field, as the Olympia Bears give a quick runner, a quick hitter right up front to the running back. That's Kirk again. And it was 1st and 17 to go. Only a couple on the carry. It'll be 2nd down for the Bears. We'll call it a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 16 for Olympia at their own 15-yard line.
Question for the coaches now for SK. Are they possibly thinking about using a timeout to try to stop the clock? Because that looks like that's what Olympia wants to do right now, run the ball and knock this clock down. Especially with a 2nd and a 10, 2nd and 11, 3rd and 11 coming up.
Jason Kirk with the carry one more time, 5 yards on the game. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, the 20-yard line, and it will be 3rd down for Olympia. 3rd down and 10 yards to go. As we are approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first half of play.
Big play of the game right here.
Thatcher rolls to his right. He's
Pursuit.
looking for a man, and he goes back, and the pass is
oh!
and it's dropped.
Defensive back fell right behind him as the ball was in there.
Kyle Klein had the ball at about the 35-yard line, hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it. A golden opportunity for Olympia, but a big break for the Wolves, so it'll be 4th down, and Olympia will have to kick the ball away. And there are 2 minutes to go, and there's a lot of time left that the Wolves could try and get something going here.
Yeah, on that play, Cody McCulley did a good job. He was with him on his hip, and just right as he turned to catch the ball, Cody just slipped. And again, that's where weather comes in. The field conditions are not the best.
Richard Fine, he fields the ball at about the 50-yard line. It was an end-over-end kick. Kyle Klein also doing the punting for the Bears. And the Wolves, with 1:51 left here in the first half, will have the ball at their own, at the Olympia 47-yard line. So the Wolves will try and get something going here as Josh Fullington comes back into the game at quarterback for the Wolves. So we might just be seeing some throwing going on here as the Wolves now come out with a three wide receiver set. Fullington, they hand the ball off to Victor Valle, and he tries to sneak his way around, and he stays on his feet.
He's breaking him. Oh!
And he is taken down. Nice job by Valle. A big run there.
Yeah, best run of the night for him, breaking 2 to 3 tackles for a good 9-yard gain. Nice job, Vic.
I'm telling you, if Valle keeps his feet, one of these times he's going to break to the outside, and he's going to get into that end zone. So
I'm pretty sure we're going to see one tonight. Now the board says, DB, that each team had 3 timeouts left. I swear we had some timeouts earlier in the game.
Yeah, we've had a couple, so we're not sure. They must not have made the adjustments. The ball is passed behind. Fullington, the intended receiver, was Richard Fine. He was wide open at the 25-yard line on a slant, but Fullington threw the ball behind him. So the pass was incomplete, and it will be 3rd down and a short 1 to go for the Wolves. So, but I would imagine that this is 2-down territory for the Wolves, as they're going to try and they'll have 2 plays to get at least 1 yard. So the Wolves have split wide receivers. They hand the ball off to Valle. He bounces to the outside. There he goes. Victor Valle spins around, stays on his feet. Nice job by Valle, and the clock will stop just so they can set the 1st down markers. Valle doing a nice job staying on his feet, spinning around. And the Wolves will have the ball at the Olympia 24-yard line, but the Wolves will call a timeout here with 1:08 remaining in the first half of play and trailing Olympia 14-0 as the Wolves come over to talk to Coach Sigurdsson and see what they can do about getting in the end zone.
Well, I tell you, DB, this will put SK in a great position if they do get a score before halftime. Going into the halftime locker room 14-0. Is way different than going in 14-7 with a score. Little momentum shift.
So South Kitsap trying to get some offense here before the first half of play ends. And I would imagine that they had to have called a couple of plays maybe, so they wouldn't waste as much time. And I think that the Wolves now have 2 timeouts remaining. I believe that both of the timeouts were called by Olympia in the first quarter and early on in the second quarter. So Fullington comes out. They fake the handoff. He rolls to the right, and he's looking for him, and he doesn't have anybody, but he decides to keep it, and he should have stepped. Oh, and he should have just run out of bounds. Fullington was looking for a man, but he kept it, started running up the right side.
51 seconds and counting. They've got to hustle up here.
All he had to do was step out of bounds, and he would have stopped the clock. They hand the ball off to Valle.
Nice hole! Here he goes!
Oh! He almost gets in there. He gets down to the 5-yard line. Nice job by Victor
They're
Valle.
moving.
The clock will stop momentarily as they quickly try and call a play. It'll be 1st and goal for the Wolves at the Olympia 5-yard line. So the Wolves knocking on the door here, trying
now
to get into the end zone.
Here we go.
Fullington hands the ball off to Valle.
He goes around the corner.
There goes Victor Valle, and he gets into the...
Oh!
Oh, it looked like he reached across the goal line,
Looks like it was across the pylon. I would have to say from here it looked like a TD.
Valle was heading out of bounds and did a great job of reaching out with the ball. I thought he might have crossed the plane, but he was unable to do it. We'll spot the ball at the 1 yard line. So
maybe he stepped out with his right foot before he made the attempt.
Second goal for the Wolves.
And they go power eye right, Darren.
Chris Anderson and John Fuchs coming in. They hand the ball off to Victor Valle.
Yes!
For the end zone. Touchdown, South Kitsap. Victor Valle, a 1 yard touchdown run, and the Wolves are on the board.
Very impressive 2-minute drill. A little balanced, mostly with the run, but putting in a little bit of pass just to make it tough on the defense.
That's what the Wolves were looking for. They wanted to get into the end zone, get some points on the board. Instead of being down 14-7 or 14-0, they'll have some points now to work with. So the Wolves doing a really good job here getting on the board, and they had a pass that was intercepted by Olympia. And Hiram Davis goes for the PAT, and the kick is up and good. So it is now 14-7 with 24 seconds left here in the first half of play. And Kerry, that's exactly what the Wolves needed to do.
Well, I think, DB, you had a point earlier. You know, don't rule the Wolves out because, you know, their SK conditioning and the strength program that they have here, I think that was a sign right here. 2 minutes left. SK have the strength and conditioning to go down the field, and I think we caught Olympia a little tired there.
Well, that's how quickly things can change, as Olympia had a lot of momentum going their way, scoring 14 points and taking a 14-0 lead, but the Wolves looking a little down and out and not quitting by any means and getting into the end zone. A 1 yard touchdown run by Victor Valle, as the Wolves will be kicking away here before the first half ends. So a good game so far here. This, like we said, this is basically a playoff game because the winner will move on next week to the first round of the state playoffs, as Hiram Davis gets ready to kick the ball from the 40-yard line. And he squibs it up the middle. It'll be fielded by Olympia around the 30-yard line. That's Eric Leach with the reception on that kickoff. And I can only imagine that Olympia is probably going to try and just run the clock down and go into halftime with a nice 14-7 lead, but stranger things can happen.
Yeah, I think just looking out here the window here, coaches at halftime are might have to adjust to possible weather changes coming. The rain's coming down a little bit more. And watching the American flag out there move quite quickly, the weather might play a little bit more of a difference in the second half.
Well, that's exactly what the Bears intended to do, and Thatcher just took a knee, and the Olympia Bears will go into halftime with a 14-7 lead over the South Kitsap Wolves, as we will try and throw it down to Amy on the sideline. Amy, what do you got for us?
Hello, thanks guys. And for you at home that have never before seen Wolf Track, South Kitsap's monthly magazine show, tonight we are going to give you a sneak preview. The show usually airs on Channel 3 BKAT Thursdays at 7:30, and is produced by South Kitsap's Video Production program. So we're going to present to you a sneak preview for your viewing pleasure.
Welcome to this special edition of Wolf Tracks, coming to you live, sort of, from the football locker room at South Kitsap High School. Well, I guess you could call it live, and they were live when they shot Thursday afternoon. Anyway, enjoy the show.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this special halftime edition of Wolf Tracks, coming to you live from the South Kitsap locker room. I'm your host, Roscoe D. Wolf, mascot of South Kitsap. Oh my goodness, is that Josh Knight, star right guard of the South Kitsap football team?
How you doing, Roscoe?
I'm not too bad. How are you, Josh?
I'm okay. What are you doing here?
I'm hosting this Wolf Tracks episode.
Can I host with you?
Well, sure, Josh, but shouldn't you be listening to the coaches talk and getting prepped for the second
no.
half of this football
I'd
game?
rather host Wolf Tracks.
I know what you mean.
So, Wolf Tracks is on every Thursday at 7:30, right?
That's right. We thought since this is the last home game, we'd do something special for all those football fans out there.
Since you're watching a football game, why not see how the football team prepares during the week?
Prepares? How the football team prepares? I'll tell you how I prepare.
Hi, I'm Josh Knight, starting right guard for the SK football team. You know, most people know the SK football players as the Friday Night Warriors. But we have a lot more to us than just that. For us, our games start on Monday.
Monday, the beginning of the week. On Mondays, the SK football players start the day just like everybody else, in the classroom. But after school is when the real fun starts. Mondays are a little slow physically, but mentally it's full blow. We start out with the scouting report. This is where we get our first introduction to the team we're going to beat on Friday. Then we watch a little film, run through some plays, and then finish off by running around the track. That concludes Monday, but our week is nowhere near finished. Another day at school, but we have a tough practice to look forward to. Tuesday is when we start going full tilt and start smashing some heads. We line up against the opposing team's offense and defense, so we can get used to it and learn how to beat it. We also have a little thing called agilities. That gets our blood flowing.
That's it, come on, let's go, Reese, get up here, Reese.
After practice, we can go home knowing we accomplished something today.
Let's go out.
Same thing as yesterday. We have to get better every day if we want to achieve our goals. Win. Day before our big game, all the hay is in the barn. We have to prepare mentally now. On Thursday, we have a night practice to get ready for Friday. We do some run-throughs and get focused on our job. All we think about is being victorious at the end of Friday night. This is the big day. A whole week of preparation has come to this. Nothing to do now but execute. We start Fridays off with a morning meeting to get everyone focused. We go through school in anticipation for go time. Finally, the time has come. We try our hardest and we do our jobs. We win 5-1. SK has a tradition of winning that won't end tonight. We feel great after victory, knowing our job is done for now. We all go to a safe house for some food and other refreshments and just have a good time. But tomorrow, we have to get up early and prepare to get better. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. We are up and at it in the film room. We watch films for a few hours to see how we need to improve. Everybody can get better. Then we hand out a few awards to people who do exceptionally well. It's fun to watch films when you are doing good, but not as fun when you're doing bad. Still, you have to get better. At the end of films, we get to rest our battered and bruised bodies.
Because on Monday, we're at it again. Well, that's it from here at SK. But remember, football isn't easy, but it sure is fun. Go Wolves!
Wow, that was interesting.
Josh, where are you? Where'd you go, Josh?
You have to be extra quiet when you're...
Hey, Josh, were you introducing the next story?
No, I was just...
Yeah, Josh, it's my turn. That's not fair. You can't just take
Anyway,
the story. I want to introduce
Fishing
the
with
story.
Josiah.
Oh.
Oh, my son. Oh, how sweet it was. My dad's biggest fish ever. We were feeling pretty good about ourselves just then. Then 15 minutes and 15 casts later, I got my big one. I had to mount it. Okay, so it's not my real fish. My fish was this big. Okay, it was this big. So it was 3 inches. What do you want from me?
Josiah's big catch here. All right.
This is hooked in my big one, a big 12-incher, literally a foot.
Got him? Where is he?
Right here. It's the biggest one all day.
It's the only one all day.
What?
It's about the only one all day. Let's get him unhooked. Good job.
Alrighty.
It's Josiah for the big bass catch of the day.
Big bass catch of the day, alright.
We'll measure him up and see how big he is.
Where is that measuring tape? Oh, it's right at your feet. I can't get him, I got the bass.
How big is he?
It's about 12 inches.
Good.
It's about 12 inches. Bass are buff creatures. Alright.
Good.
But as always, there's that 3-hour wait between catching fish, and boredom set in. Cast after cast yielded nothing, so I decided to take things into my own hands.
Okay, that's it. Not catching anything on these other lures yet. So, I'm going to have to pull out the retired fish catcher.
Veteran, right there.
Put him in retirement. Now he's coming back.
Out of retirement.
Out of retirement. You know
Get a close up of that baby.
This guy's gonna come, he's gonna catch me a mess of fish. I'm gonna get me a 20-inch a day.
We fished another couple of hours with no avail, no fish, not even a bite, but we did see some weird phenomena. Apparently, this rarely happens to true fishermen, especially my dad.
There it is.
I know where it is.
We even saw some bass turn cannibalistic.
The big guy ate the little guy on your lure.
But the best was my casting display.
Yeah, I hooked the cameraman.
Take the camera.
Still going?
Still recording.
You probably want to edit that out.
No, that's a great shot.
I hope my dad heals up from that. So when the day ended and all was said and done, we caught 3 fish, 2 3-inchers and 1 whopping 12-incher. We decided to pack up and it was time to go home, satisfied in what we accomplished. I just hope my dad will heal from the injury. So there's fishing with Josiah. What do you think?
Are you done yet?
Yeah.
Yes!
Well, thanks for joining me on Fishing with Josiah. Happy fishing!
I won. You won, I won. Paper covers rock.
No, rock goes through paper.
Oh, nuh-uh. You're wrong. Paper covers rock. The rock is covered by the paper. No, that's not right.
Come on, get back to work.
Sorry.
Sorry.
On Saturday, October 12th...
NGROTC had a luau in the Commons of SK.
It's my line,
Here's
Josh.
how it went.
It's my line, Josh. You stinker.
Bust out those puka shells, Hawaiian t-shirts, and leis. SKHS held the 2nd annual ROTC Hawaiian Luau last October. Hula dancers and a live band danced the night away while the guests ate and drank. Festivities included a silent auction and Captain T-Trick as the donkey in the dunk tank.
Football thrower!
The live entertainment sang and danced to actual Hawaiian music.
And where I go, I say hello to everyone.
Even our principal, Mr. Colombini, got involved.
But there were some people that requested that the principal get up in front of everyone and try to twirl some balls or whatever they were. And that was pretty difficult to do. Not as easy as it looks. But it was fun for a good cause.
how the luau's going. The luau's going great. It's doing a lot better than it was last year. We sold over 600 tickets, I believe. So this place is going to be packed tonight. I've been doing luau for a year, so it's kind of exciting to come back and do the show that I started.
We just completed our second annual Paradise Found at Port Orchard, Hawaii. And we're getting all kinds of thumbs up. I think everybody enjoyed. Just had an hour and a half of some of the best Hawaiian entertainment that you could possibly hope to have, and a terrific meal from Mona Kealoha and her family. And we're wrapping up now and kind of closing everything down, getting ready to start school on Monday.
All in all, the night was a huge success.
Wow, look at the time. It's almost time for the second half. I gotta go. It's been fun hosting Wolf Tracks with you, but it's time to play some football.
Josh.
Thanks, Roscoe.
You go beat them. Well, it's about time I got in some of this hosting. Well, it's the end of the show. Thanks for watching, and make sure you don't miss the regular full-length episodes of Wolf Tracks every Thursday night at 7:30 on BKAT Channel 3. Enjoy the rest of the game, football fans. Go Wolves!
Well, we hope you enjoyed that special sneak preview of Wolf Tracks, and we also hope that you're going to enjoy the rest of this game, which has taken place just to my left.
Welcome back to the second half of play here at Joe Knowles Field at South Kitsap High School as the Olympia Bears enjoy a 14-7 halftime lead and will be kicking off to the Wolves just for the second half of play. So joining us in the booth right now as another broadcaster, Stacy Edwards, a graduate of Pasco High School and former college player at the University of Montana, is now joining us in the booth. And Stacy, what are your thoughts on some of the play that's been going on? It's been a great half of football so far.
Well, it's been very physical on both sides of the football. The running game is going to be key due to poor footing and condition of this field.
There goes Victor Valle. Victor Valle could break free. What a return by Victor Valle. A 60-yard return. Can you believe it? He got the kickoff at about the 20-yard line, had a nice seal on the left side, and broke free, and he makes it all the way down to the 25-yard line of Olympia. So just like that, the Wolves are in business. Boy, how things can change quickly.
Well, you're right. South Kitsap took momentum into the half with that late touchdown, and coming out with that big, long kickoff return here, momentum should be on their side going into this goal.
Fullington hands the ball off to Valle. There he goes off left guard, and he's going to get it to the end zone. Touchdown, South Kitsap! Victor Valle with a 25-yard touchdown run, and in 2 plays, the Wolves are on the board again.
Well, DB, that's what we were talking about in the first half. We were going to see Victor break for one in 2 plays, and Victor Valle's in the end zone.
We had a feeling that you get Victor to the outside, and he'll be able to do that. And Stacy, it looked like there was some good blocking up front there, allowing Valle to get all that running room.
Well, there was excellent blocking. The offensive linemen held their blocks longer than normal. They got a good block coming down from the wide receiver position, which gave Valle an opportunity to get around that corner.
That could have been a halftime adjustment, start to running to the outside a little bit more. Definitely through the first half, it looked like they were running up the middle a lot more.
So Hiram Davis with the extra point, it is good, and I think we're going to have a replay here of that run, and 2 big plays. Victor Valle with about a 60-yard kickoff return, and then a 25-yard touchdown run just inside that. Nice job by Valle, getting some good blocking up front, and you get Valle to the outside, and it's hard to catch him. So just like that, the Wolves tie it up with 11:44 remaining in the third quarter of play. We're tied at 14, and what a great game we're seeing here so far.
It's an awesome game. It's playoff football. You know, this is, I believe, the 23rd year in a row now the South Kitsap has been in the playoffs. So they take all of that tradition with them into a football game. So whether they're down 21-0 or 14-0, you don't expect a team like South Kitsap to lay down just because they have a minor deficit. They're going to hang in this football game. They're going to fight all the way through. Now it's up to Olympia to try to answer this and steal some of this momentum.
Pat McCann back to receive the kickoff. So is Desmond Davis. And the ball is going left, and it will be kicked out of bounds. And in high school football, that is an automatic penalty, meaning that Olympia will get the ball at their own 35-yard line. And Stacy, as we were talking about in the first half, how big of a difference is it when the field conditions are like this, when it's rainy and muddy?
Well, it makes a big difference. It's a little harder for the defensive linemen to submit themselves. That's for the offensive linemen. But also in the secondary, a slip can cost you a touchdown. You play on the island out there, so footing is very important. You've got to be careful not to break on something too hard.
Thatcher hands the ball off to Kirk, but he's tripped up immediately. Nice defense there by number 19, Mitch Baroni. Kirk with only a couple of yards on the gain, and it will be second down for Olympia. So it looks like whatever was said at halftime has been working so far for the Wolves. Thatcher hands the ball off again to Kirk as he ducks his shoulder down, and he's hit hard. Nice hit there. That's number 58, Clayton Hutchins, but not before Kirk gets another big gain on the play. And it will be a gain of about 9, making a first down for Olympia as they head right into that little mud bowl.
That ground, if South Kitsap can stop that dive play by Olympia, it puts them in a situation to do something that they don't want to.
Thatcher looks to his right, but ends up passing the ball off to his left. Looks like Eric Leach on the reception.
Nice tackle by Craig Center.
Center with the coverage, and a gain of 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 for Olympia. So once again, the Bears coming out with a running and passing attack as McCann is split to the far right side of the field. Thatcher hands the ball off to Kirk, and once again he ducks his shoulder down and tries to get forward as much as possible. And it's almost impossible to see Kirk's number now because he's playing around in that big mud bowl down there. So as the rain continues to fall, but slightly, not like it was earlier, as Thatcher hands the ball off to Kirk again. The ball is fumbled, and it's picked up by the Wolves. It will be a turnover. Nice job on defense there. Kirk didn't quite have the handoff, didn't have possession, kind of hit him in the hands and bounced off his chest. And just like that, the Wolves will take over on the turnover.
Well, you talked about field conditions, and you just spoke of the rain. We see that probably and maybe coming into play there as a nasty handoff just didn't come in cleanly, and a South Kitsap Wolf was able to pick it up.
Well, we know that the coaches say that it doesn't matter what the conditions are, but you have to believe that the rain and the mud has to have a little bit of what's going on. As Victor Valle tries to get to the outside, he'll get a couple on the play, and it'll be 2nd down for the Wolves. But just like we said before, not only are the field conditions hard to get your footing down, but sometimes that ball can be a little slippery to hang on to.
And it looks as though South Kitsap may have found a piece of armor missing of Olympia on their left-hand side. We've seen them go to that side earlier on the touchdown, and now they go right back to the sweep to the left. Let's see if they continue to try to get Valle outside.
The Wolves send 2 wide receivers to the far right. Fullington, he fakes the handoff, he drops the ball, and he tries to get it back. It's still
on the ground.
It's still on the ground. We're not quite sure, but I think the Wolves retain it.
What opportunity for Olympia to get that ball. It was bouncing around.
Well, you know, they always say play through the echo of the whistle. Olympia just kind of sat back there because they thought that Fullington had gotten the ball back, but in all actuality, he didn't have a handle on it. And again, we see a sloppy field come into play where he's just not able to hold on to that football.
And just as we were talking about the playing conditions here, both sides starting to let that football fumble a little bit as the rain starts to come down a little harder here, and the Wolves cut a break, and it'll be 3rd and long as Fullington drops back. He's looking for the screen pass, and it's batted down, and he almost gets his own reception. Something that's rare. You don't see too much in any level of play, but Fullington dropped back, looked for the screen pass. It was batted down by the lineman, and Fullington almost caught it himself, but it was a good idea to just go ahead and bat that ball down, or they would have been punting from deep in their territory.
You take, I think, Drew Bledsoe, another Washington State kid. I think it's the only college player to ever throw a pass, receive a pass, all in the same play.
So the Wolves will have a 4th down as McCann is back to receive the kick from Anderson, and it's a nice kick. McCann will have it at about his 25-yard line. He ducks man, and he stays on his feet, swings around. He tries to get to the outside. There goes McCann. Nice job by McCann fielding the ball. He was grabbed by the shirt and swung around, but stayed on his feet and was able to get up to about the 36-yard line. So Olympia will take over on downs as the score is still tied here with 8:36 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play, tied at 14. And Kerry, you got to imagine that the Wolves did get a little bit of momentum swing there coming out of halftime.
Oh, yeah. Again, like it was mentioned earlier, you come out with a great kickoff return to start the second half. What can put you in a better situation and a strong attitude, and you're live and ready to play some football.
As Jason Kirk gets the handoff, he gets about 3 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Olympia. So Kirk doing a nice job, and the Olympia Bears have something to look forward to in the future with Kirk, as he is a 6-foot, 180-pound sophomore doing a nice job with the running duties here. As Olympia, a little confusion on offense. The receivers went out, looked like they were going back in, but Olympia will get the play going here as Thatcher. He fakes the handoff, and he rolls out to his left, decides to keep it. He's being chased and will be taken down by Chris Anderson. Nice tackle by Anderson after Thatcher gets a couple on the play, so it'll be 3rd down for the Bears.
Now, Thatcher was running that football all the way. If he would have ran that boot and maybe held the ball like he was going to throw it, he may have put himself in a position to try to put a move on Chris Anderson. But he tucked that ball away and was running all the way, which gave Chris Anderson a beat on him, and he made an excellent tackle.
So 3rd down for the Bears. A little bit of handoff here and there. Thatcher keeps it. He looks for his man in the flat, but he underthrows him. He underthrew his intended receiver. That was Kirk, but the pass was a little low. Incomplete, so Olympia is held, and they will have to kick the ball away as Richard Fine will be standing around his 30-yard line for the kick.
Now, you got to wonder about this Olympia team. They played on a Thursday, then they played on a Tuesday, then they turn around and play on a Saturday. They played a lot of football in the last couple of weeks.
They've got to be tired as the ball is going to Fine fields the ball at about the 25. He doesn't have a lot of room. He tries to sidestep around a few tacklers, but he gets a few on the return. We'll call it about 8, and he gets down to the 32-yard line. So the Wolves will take over and have decent field position as the rain continues to fall here. But Stacey, you're right, just like you said, Olympia has been playing a lot of football as they've had a mini playoff last Tuesday and not much rest over the last week and a half.
Not at all, and that can come into play. You know, if I'm Coach Beatty, I take it easy on my kids. After coming off of 2 weeks of pretty much playoff atmosphere football.
The Wolves come out with 2 wide receivers as they hand the ball off to Victor Valle. He bounces to the outside. There goes Valle. Nice job getting outside. He's ridden out of bounds just past the 40-yard line. And the Wolves will be close to a 1st down. We'll call it a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 for South. And Kerry, like we were saying earlier, this is kind of where the Wolves start wearing down their opponents with all that good conditioning that they have throughout the year.
Yeah, and you can see it right now in the first half. You didn't see South getting an 8-yard chunk on 1st down. And if South continues to do this and get 8 yards and give themselves 2nd and short every time, this is even going to wear Olympia even more.
Fullington under center. He hands the ball off to Victor Valle for a quick run back to the left side. They're looking to maybe signal a first down, but we'll have to wait and see where they spot it. I believe it will be a first down, or it'll be just short. It'll be 3rd and short for the Wolves.
And this isn't a bad spot to be in, 3rd and short. With a lot of success that we've seen here in the second half of them running the football, you may even take a chance here with the play action if you feel that comfortable with your football team. I think they're going to play it safe, though, and pick up this first down and continue this drive.
Yeah, and I see playing it safe because they came out with power eye right here.
So a key 3rd down for both sides, and it looked like they were offside. The Wolves have that traditional, the offensive linemen have not set quite yet, and they go down into that 3-point stance and sometimes draws the defense offside, but it looked like they might be indicating that it was an illegal procedure call. No, it was offside on the defense, so a big break for the Wolves, and a penalty right there is costly for the Bears as the South Kitsap will retain possession near midfield.
It looks like they're going to also stay in that power eye formation.
You know, that's an old Dallas Cowboy trick. If you remember back in the 70s, those of us old enough to remember back that far, the Dallas Cowboys would get their offensive linemen set, and then they kind of do a motion up and down. And when that first came out, that got a lot of different defenses jumping off sides. A good job up front of South Kitsap.
Victor Valle gets the handoff out of the power eye formation, and he's taken down by number 20, Desmond Davis, but not before he gains a big gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. We'll call it 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Wolves. So South Kitsap doing a nice job of maintaining possession here in the 3rd quarter of play as Hiram Davis now comes into the game and splits to the far right side. Wolves come out in the I formation. Andy Sund also in the game, set up as a tight end. Fullington hands the ball off to Valle, but he's not going anywhere. He's taken down pretty quick, and a flag comes flying in.
Probably a hold, maybe a face mask, and it's going to be a hold.
You're right, Stacy. That's always in the area of holding, and the Wolves will be backed up, and that's about their 3rd holding penalty, and you got to imagine that the Wolves offensive line coach is not happy with the number of holding penalties that they've had this evening.
As I saw earlier in the game, it seemed anytime they ran that counter, they were picking up a holding penalty. In the first quarter, they had 2 holding penalties off of that counter play that they run to the left twice. So I don't know what the problem is. Maybe Olympia just has a stud defensive lineman on that side of the football that's causing havoc up front for South Kitsap.
Well, we know that 2 things that can determine the outcome of a game, and that is turnovers and penalties. And we've seen the penalties, and just recently we've had a couple of turnovers on both sides. So we'll see how both teams react to it, as it'll be 2nd and long for the Wolves as they come out in the power I formation. Fullington fakes the handoff. He's got Nick Anderson down on the left side. He throws it up, airs it up. Oh, it's incomplete. He had Nick Anderson down the left side of the field, and Fullington just threw it up, and it bounced off the hands of Nick Anderson. The pass was incomplete, and if he had caught that pass, he would have danced into the end zone. It'll be 3rd down for the Wolves.
The ball was a little bit underthrown, and I think that, Fullington has a very strong arm, but the footing is bad. He's not able to get his foot planted deep in that soil like he would like. So balls are going to be a little short. They may come a little hard, or they may be a little behind you in this football game.
Hard to get footing down a little bit here in the muddy conditions, but the Wolves will have a 3rd down coming out of the power I formation. Fullington, they hands the ball off to, this time it's Charlton Mason, but he's taken down behind by number 52. That's Josh Henry. Wow, what a tackle that was. And it'll be 4th down for the Wolves. They're going to have to kick it away. Nice defense there by the Bears.
Excellent defense. Again, it was that counter rolling to that left side of the field. South Kitsap must see something on the left side of the field because they're really attacking that side of the line of scrimmage.
Pat McCann will be back to receive the kick from Nick Anderson, so a good job by both sides. Winding down time here in the 3rd quarter as Nick Anderson, a nice spiral kick. It'll be fielded by McCann. He dances out to the left side, but he's going to be taken down by a big pack of Wolves.
Yes, that was a great example of great punt coverage there.
A nice kick by Nick Anderson, and Olympia will get the ball back deep in their own territory.
You're absolutely right about the punt coverage. Football will come down to penalties and turnovers, but special teams are also another variable that will come into play.
Once again, the Bears come out with a quick offensive huddle, and they hand the ball off to Kirk, and Kirk squeezes through the offensive line for a gain of about 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Bears. And that's what Olympia did early in the first half, is that they caught the Wolves off guard by coming out so quickly, having all the plays already called, as Thatcher hands the ball off to Kirk again, but he's not this time. He's hit hard. He's taken back by Andy Sund and Clayton Hutchins. So nice defense there by the Wolves. It'll be 3rd down for Olympia.
Stacy, do you think that the offense for Olympia is using the slots or the wing side guys like they should be, or they seem to be diving a lot and not using the wings as much?
Thatcher rolls out to his left, and he's got a man open. He's got Kirk. A nice catch there. A couple of handoff fakes there towards the middle off that wing tee.
Just as I asked the question.
And he had Kirk open, and a nice pass and reception for a gain of about 15 yards. So Olympia is on the move. A nice job there by Thatcher getting the ball in the hands of Kirk.
You know, I think Olympia uses those slots to kind of lull you to sleep a little bit and to get you to forget about them, and they go to them when they need a big play.
Kirk gets the handoff again, and he scoots through the line for a couple on the play. It'll be 2nd down, and Kirk is getting a lot of playing time here tonight, and he's only just a sophomore.
And he isn't the normal starter. They have a humongous stud running back who's been injured. So a bright future for Olympia in that backfield.
Their star running back broke his leg earlier this season. As Kirk gets the handoff one more time, he's also a great sprinter, a really good sprinter on the team as well. So the Bears are sorely missing him, but Jason Kirk doing an excellent job of taking over the running duties and stepping up to the plate, as they say, especially for a sophomore, as Mitch Baroni comes out. There was a penalty on the play, and it looked like there was a face mask. So they're going to scoot the Wolves back a little bit here due to the penalty.
And is it the naughty one, or is it the, innocent one? That's going to be the question here. Is it going to be a 5-yard penalty, or are they going to start marching them back here?
This is the big face mask.
Oh, he's marching.
Yeah.
That's a 15-yarder right there. So the Bears cut a big break, and they go into Wolf territory. They'll have the ball at the South Kitsap 39-yard line. So Olympia is on the move here. Thatcher, under center, hands the ball off to Kirk. He tries to get through the left side of the line, but no doing there, as he has a minimal gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down for Olympia. So another penalty hurting the Wolves.
There's more than one way to move the ball down the football field, but you don't want to allow your opponent to get cheap yardage like that. I'm sure that the face mask was unintentional, but a lot of times in the heat of battle and you go in there and you're just reaching for a guy, sometimes your hands just ends up in the wrong place.
As the rain starts to fall a little bit harder now, as Kirk tries to bounce to the outside, he's taken out of bounds by a couple of defenders for the Wolves, but not until he gains a couple on the play. It'll be 3rd down for Olympia.
Looked like the cornerback, Craig Center, number 23, came up for support for the Wolf.
Well, who's afraid of the big bad Wolf? Olympia coming in here showing a lot of courage. I didn't expect the score to be as close as it is, quite frankly, at this point in time in the game.
Well, I think a lot of people were shocked as Olympia jumped out to a 14-0 lead, as Kirk tries to get to the outside, and the Wolves say, "You're not going anywhere except out of bounds and maybe back for a loss." He might have gotten the yard on the play, and it's going to be 4th down, so nice defense there for the Wolves.
The outside backers doing their job. Again, in the SK defense, the outside backers' responsibility is containment. They got to contain all the way to the edge of the field. So, again, that was a great example of outside backer.
So the Bears will kick the ball away, hoping to pin down the Wolves and deep in their own territory, as Cody McCauley is signaling for the fair catch, and they're going to let it bounce, and it's a nice kick. It will be down inside the 5. The ball will be at the 3-yard line. So a great punt there by Olympia, and the Wolves will start 1st and 10, but deep in their own territory.
When you play on a field like this, a grass natural surface, and it gets muddy, that ball off of that punt is going to just kind of thud in the ground. It's not going to take those funny bounces that you see on the AstroTurf. So a great job, though, of maintaining your feet. And, a coach will tell you, put your heels on the 10 or put your heels on the 5 and don't move. And if it's going to go over your head, let it bounce. The returner did his job. The ball just didn't bounce the way the South Kitsap would have liked it to.
So the Wolves will try and get a little breathing room here as they hand the ball off to Victor Valle.
Ooh.
And when he's almost backed up right at the end, at the goal line.
Now, you know, this is where I would say gamble a little bit, Coach BJ. They've been running the ball a lot on first down, and I'm sure Olympia noticed that. Now, I know it would be pretty scary to run a play-action pass there, and, you know, and if it messes up, everybody hates you. But I tell you what, you look like a genius if it works. But every now and then, you got to keep the offense or the defense off balance and do something they don't quite expect you to do.
Well, we've seen some new looks from Coach DJ Sigurdsson, you know, throughout the whole year. And the Wolves will have a 2nd down and 10 as they give the ball to Victor Valle.
Oh.
Boy, and he just gets up the outside of the fingertips of the would-be defender. And I'll tell you what, if he hadn't, he could have been taken down inside the end zone for a safety. That was close.
Yeah, it was very close, and it was very scary because you give up 2 points there, and then you turn around and you have to kick the ball off. That's just not a situation you want to be in.
Well, that's the end of the 3rd quarter, and the South Kitsap Wolves and the Olympia Bears are deadlocked at 14 with 1 more quarter to go. As this is a huge game for both sides, the winner will move on to the 1st round of the state playoffs for the 4A classification next week. So we're seeing a really good game here tonight. We'd like to thank Stacy Edwards for joining us in the booth. Stacy, it was an absolute pleasure to have you in the booth. You can come back and join us anytime you feel like it.
Well, I appreciate it. My pleasure as well.
I think we're going to go down to Amy on the sideline. Amy, what do you got for us down there?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Roscoe, also known as
Doug Sackerson.
So, how are you doing tonight? How's the game for you?
I wish they were winning, but I like the weather. This is good football weather. I think they can pull through.
Right on. What do you think of the season so far? How's the football season?
Really good. They've done really well, and I'm glad that they've done really well. And I hope they continue to do really well.
I'm sure they will. Any last thoughts?
Hooray for us.
Okay, that's great. All right, back to you guys.
So here we are at the beginning of the 4th quarter of play as Josh Fullington looks for the inside slant to Richard Fine, but he way overthrows him. And the pass is incomplete, so the Wolves will have to punt the ball away, but deep in their own end zone.
No, a couple of those, it was the plays on 1st and 2nd down, DB. South Kitsap was very lucky to get a couple yards for breathing room here off the incomplete pass. Nick Anderson's definitely going to have to get that ball and get a quick kickoff.
So they need a good snap here, as Nick Anderson does, and he kind of kicks it off the right side of his foot. Not a very good kick. So Olympia is going to get a break here, as they will get the ball just inside their own 30-yard line.
If you focus on one special team, I think that scares coaches the most is it'd have to be punt team. Punt team, you can win and lose games by punt team, and again, this not costing SK the game by any means, but it definitely shifts the momentum in Olympia's position.
Kirk got the handoff, get to the outside, and there goes a flag. There's going to be a personal foul. Looked like something was being said. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Olympia. What a huge penalty. They started just inside the 30 at their own 29-yard line, but tack on a 15-yard penalty for a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. What a huge call that is for Olympia and South Kitsap, because Olympia had good field position, and now you got to scoot them back a little bit more, and they're getting more back into that little mud bowl area.
That's what Stacey Edwards was talking about in the 3rd quarter, about, you know, moving the ball down, up and down the field, and when you give, you know, you give your opponent position and yardage, you know, that's where the mental game comes in. They've got to hold their composure out there, and again, unsportsmanlike conduct, 15 yards.
So Olympia will come out a 2nd down and forever to go here as Thatcher fakes the handoff. They hand the ball off to Kirk. Thatcher faked the pass, handed the ball off to Kirk to try and chip away a little bit more here, getting a little bit closer back to the original line of scrimmage, which is at the 29.
He's a hard runner, DB. You see his lowers his body, and boy, them legs are moving.
Kirk's been doing a great job filling in for the injured running back for Olympia, who broke his leg earlier this year. Hope to see that young man back in action as well. We like to see the good athletes stay healthy and perform. As the Bears will have a 3rd down and long, Thatcher drops back. He's looking for a man. He's going for McCann deep into the end zone. It's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Pat Kelly into the end zone. Nice defense there by Pat Kelly. So the Wolves will take over on downs. And like we said, Kerry, we're going to see some turnovers and penalties. And right there, we saw one of each.
No, that was a nice play. I think the cornerback read right away that the pass was going to be a little bit short. He just held his inside position, which he has a right to. Wide receiver couldn't do anything about it except watch him get the interception right in front of him.
So the Wolves cut a break there after an unsportsmanlike penalty against Olympia, and then a turnover, the interception by Pat Kelly at the goal line. As Fullington comes out, it's starting to rain a little harder here now at Joe Knowles Field as Victor Valle gets the ball, and he tries to scoot his way through that offensive line one more time, but again, he doesn't get very much on the play. The Olympia defensive line has been doing a great job of snuffing out the run.
Through the 3rd quarter, SK was running the ball pretty well, so I think for the most part they're going to keep on trying to pound the ball with Victor Valle, and it's throwing a little pass again, but again, 10 minutes and 20 seconds and left in the 4th quarter. There's plenty of game left.
So the Wolves come out. They only got 1 on the gain. It'll be 2nd and 9, deep in their own territory at their own 21. Fullington fakes the handoff. He's going to roll out to his right. He's looking for a man out in the flat. He's got him, but he doesn't have it. Fullington just keeps it, ducks his shoulder, and he's taken out of bounds. Looked like he had Andy Sund out in the flat, but he just kept it, tucked it under his arm, and started running with it. So a small gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down for the Wolves. And Kerry, now the weather conditions could be a factor if it continues to rain here.
Yeah, it's definitely raining a little bit harder right now, DB. And again, yeah, this is where that one time the receiver slips and the defensive backs get it, or the one time the defensive back slips and the wide receiver gets it. A big play could occur at any time now.
It's a key thing to hang on to the football as the ball's handed off to Victor Valle. He tries to bounce to the outside.
He does! He's on his feet!
He got it! There goes Victor Valle! He's not going to get it! He's going to be at the 20! He's at the 10! Touchdown, South Kitsap!
That's the play we were talking about, DB. We're going to see it sometime. We're going to see a big one. How many yards? 70-some yards? 74-yard touchdown.
Victor Valle with the long touchdown run, no penalties, and that's what the Wolves were looking for to get on the board. Looked like it was about a 64-yard touchdown run by Victor Valle. Kerry, just like we said earlier, you get Victor to the outside and he's hard to take down, and we had a feeling that it would happen as Hiram Davis attempts the extra point, and it just barely made it. But just like that, the Wolves get into the end zone. Victor Valle, a long touchdown run, and the score is now 21-14 with 9:46 remaining in the game. What a great job by Valle to stay on his feet, get through the hole, get into the end zone.
Well, the extra point is good. I tell you, what an important extra point in a game like this when we're going touchdown back and forth. One extra point can make that difference. So nice job, Davis, making the extra point.
But there's a lot of time left here in this ball game as Olympia will be coming out and hoping to do some damage themselves. They looked like they were going to score first. Earlier when they had the ball deep in Wolf territory at the 29. And due to a penalty and a turnover, the Wolves get the ball back, and they scoot in from about 65 yards out and get on the board and take the lead. And that's the first lead of the game for the Wolves here. And like we said, that conditioning, long-lasting through the whole game, is one of the strengths of the Wolves as Hiram Davis gets ready to kick the ball off. And he does. It's going to be taken by McCann. And he bobbles the reception.
He's got to pick it up.
But he does. He picks it up. He scoots around, and there goes McCannon, but he's quickly taken down. And I'll tell you, if he'd had a little bit sooner, he could have gotten to the left side, and he had a lot of green in front of him, but the Wolves were there to snuff him out. And Olympia will have a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. So what a great game we're seeing here this evening.
You know, I think the conditioning and how tired the team is going to play, just like we were talking in the third quarter. Some of the guys have been playing 3 games in 2 weeks. That's a lot of playing football.
Thatcher rolls out, and he hits his man. That's number 84, Kyle Klein. Nice job rolling out into the flat. The pass is complete.
Gives them 2nd and short, just like they want.
So Olympia coming out with the passing right away. Doing a little clock management here. Need to get something going. Being down 21-14 as they hand the ball off to Kirk. He goes over right guard, and he does get past the 35-yard line, which will give them a 1st down.
Well, the Olympia Bears show no quit, that's for sure. They are ready to go. They pop right out of that huddle, and they're ready to snap that ball already.
1st down at the 35 for the Bears. Thatcher fakes the handoff, rolls out to the right. He's got Klein again. That same play that they had, that first pass reception, the little tight end flat pass reception right there. Nice job, a nice little gain.
Yep, number 8.
It'll be 2nd down for Olympia.
Number 8, Nick Anderson, covering on the play. Got those kind of plays keep you honest. You don't want them to beat you deep, so you got to let them have one of those short passes in front of you once in a while.
Thatcher hands the ball off to Kirk. He gets his way upfield, close to that 1st down marker. I think he'll be just a little short. It'll be 3rd down and a long 1 yard. We'll call it 3rd and 2 for the Olympia Bears. So a key play here in the 4th quarter as Olympia. Oh, and the ball is fumbled. Thatcher, he rolls out to his right. He's going to try and stay on his feet, and he's taken down. He was going to try and he tried to hand the ball off to Kirk, but the ball slipped out of his hand and looked like he was just pitching back to nobody. But I think it was because the ball was so slippery that it just squirted out of his hand. Thatcher was able to pick the ball up and still run to the right, but by that time, Nick Anderson had made it over there and made the tackle. So a big break for the Wolves here, as Olympia will have to kick the ball away, as South Kitsap will send back Richard Fine and Pat Kelly. The kick is away, a nice kick off to the left, keeping it out of the hands, and it's going to take a big bounce, fielded by Richard Fine. He doesn't get much, maybe a gain of 3. Ball bounced around a little bit. Richard Fine fielded the ball about the 25. It'll be just short of the 30. So the Wolves now carry what they just want to do right here, is maintain ball possession and have no turnovers and no penalties.
They caught a break there. A fumble, even though the Olympia Bears recovered their own fumble. I mean, that was almost, as good as a turnover, because again, it kills momentum for them. And now again, controlling the ball here, 8:10 left in the 4th quarter. A good running game to establish time off the clock would be very nice here.
Fullington hands the ball off to, that's John Shepard. Nice run by John Shepard, who gives Victor Valle a little breather.
And a
Shepard
1st
comes
down.
in. Nice job by Shepard. Gains about 12 on the play. A big running play there, and it'll be 1st down for the Wolves. So just like that, the Wolves come out and get a big running play. Keep that clock running. Shepard gets the ball all the way down to the 40-yard line. So the Wolves will have another 1st and 10. Hiram Davis and Richard Fine split far right. Shepard with the ball, and he tripped up. He tripped up over the guard, number 67, Josh Knight. Shepard stays on his feet. He's got a little bit of running room out there, so Shepard coming in doing a little bit of the running here. Shepard gained 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Wolves. Olympia trying to hold defensively here.
No, they're coming out in the same formation. Tight end left, twins right.
Big John Fuchs, the fullback, they hand the ball off to Shepard, and he's immediately taken backwards, and his forward progress was stopped. He didn't get much on the, in fact, I don't think he got any. He might have lost one. The ball remains at the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down for South Kitsap, so a big defensive play here for Olympia could mean the game for them.
3rd and long. What's going to happen here? Oh, Victor Valle's running back in, adjusting his helmet.
So a few substitutions made by the Wolves.
Trips left.
Wolves coming out in a new formation here. Shepard comes out of the game. Fullington hands the ball off to Valle. He tries to get to the outside, but he's tripped up. Olympia was right there to stop him, and it will be 4th down. In fact, he lost 2 on the play. It'll be 4th down for the Wolves, and they will have to kick the ball away. So the Wolves, hoping to hang on to the football, will have to give it back to Olympia.
That's where a shoelace tackle cost a big gain, because the wide receivers are out there blocking. Get around that corner again. Victor had a lot of running room.
Nick Anderson, who's been doing a fine job of punting the ball tonight for the Wolves, will kick the ball away to McCann, who's back at his own 25. It's a quick kick. It's a hard, actually, it was a shanker. Anderson shanked it off his foot far to the left, so the Bears will have very good field position. They'll have the ball near midfield as the officials are going to place the ball right in that big mud spot. So Olympia cutting a break, and again, coming out on offense quickly, trying to catch the Wolves off guard. Thatcher under center. He fakes the handoff. He rolls to the right. He's going deep. He's looking for his man, but he's going to be well underthrow him. The pass will be incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bears.
Yeah, as you can see, he was picking himself up off the ground. When he went back to plant, his first plant, his leg slipped. He gained his balance and threw, but you could tell that his body was not set by any means and underthrown the wide receiver by 10, 15 yards.
Well, that's a difficult area right there where that big mud patch is, and with the rain that we've had, it's got to be just very difficult to get your footing down. But nonetheless, the coaches say you got to do it because that's part of the game. As the Bears come out, 2nd down and 10, Thatcher trying to draw the defense off sides. Looked like they might have gotten an offside, but they were able to get back, and Kirk gets the ball straight up the middle. Gets the ball right at about midfield.
Not much there, though. Puts him at a 3rd and long.
It'll be 3rd down for the Bears. So, and Kerry, I kind of might think that this would be 2-down territory, being down by 7 points with just over 5 minutes remaining as Thatcher takes the snap. They fake the handoff, rolls to his right. He's got a man open in the flat, but the pass is incomplete. Nick Anderson and Chris Anderson right there on the coverage. But it's 4th and long now, 4th and 8 for the Bears. But I can't imagine that they'd be kicking the ball away right now. They're going to have to go for it.
Yeah, that was a nice job by the Wolves defense. They faked a cat inside blitz and pulled out at the last second, and Anderson was able to get out there with the outside backer and make the play.
So a big 4th down play here for Olympia, as I think they're just trying to draw the defense offside. Nope, they're going it. They snap the ball. He rolls to the right. He's looking for a man, and he's got him, and he's got the ball. It is complete,
but it's not enough.
He's going to be short of the 1st down.
It's going to be SK ball. It sure is.
I'm a little surprised that the receiver didn't get down to the 1st down marker. If you have a pass completion, you've got to get the 1st down. You can't be short, but they did. So now the Olympia Bears, with 4:58 remaining in the game,
I think
have their backs up against the wall as the Wolves take over possession at their own 45-yard line.
I think it's been said many times by many announcers, why doesn't a receiver run a route that gets you the 1st down? Frustrates coaches.
That's got to be frustrating as Fullington hands the ball off to Valle. He's tripped up a little bit. He scoots his way forward. Nice job by Valle, having a big night tonight again.
And he's looking strong right now, DB. He's running hard.
He's doing a great job. We had a feeling that would probably happen this evening as he gains 8 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Wolves. just past midfield. So the Wolves trying to run the clock out here, hoping to advance to the first round of the state 4A playoffs next week. Fullington under center, looks over the defense. He pitches the ball out to Valle. The defenders, though, for Olympia are right there, and they take him out of bounds. Nice tackle there by number 26. That's Tim Ireland. He rides Victor Valle out of bounds, stopping the clock. And he did not pick up the first down, so it'll be 3rd and short for the Wolves. Nice job there by Ireland, forcing Valle out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah, that was good team pursuit. The whole Olympia team was moving down the line, just like just like you write it up, and not enough SK blockers to pick everybody up.
So it's 3rd and 2 for South Kitsap as they come out in that power I formation once again. And there's another penalty. That's number 79, Devin Spencer. That will be offsides, illegal procedure on the offensive line. So scoot him back 5 yards instead of 3rd and short. It'll be 3rd and 7. So again, Kerry, that's got to be very frustrating for coaches knowing that you've got another penalty.
Yeah, I think we've seen from both sides of the ball penalties costing each team, and you can't say that one penalty did this or that, but it sure has affected a lot of drives tonight for both teams.
South Kitsap still in that power I formation. They fake the handoff to Valle. Fullington's just going to take it. He's being chased down from behind, and he tries to strip him of the ball. Nice job by the Olympia defender. That's number 20, Desmond Davis, who's able to chase Fullington from behind, and I think that they just wanted to get a little bit more breathing room. But the Wolves will have to kick the ball away again. And if Olympia gets the ball, they most likely will have it deep in their own territory, as McCann will be standing at his own 20. So a key 4th down kick here. Nick Anderson standing around his 37-yard line with the kick. A nice kick. It will be fielded by McCann. He signals the fair catch. He does make the catch. It'll be at his own 23. So the Olympia Bears will have 3:26 to go, 77 yards for a score, and they do need a touchdown to tie this game. So Thatcher comes back from the sideline, and the Bears will get ready to go here as they send McCann to the far right side of the field.
I think defensively, South needs to apply some pressure here. They definitely need to apply some pressure.
They fake the handoff. Thatcher, he's going to put his head on. He decides to pass, and it's overthrown. His intended receiver was number 27, Cody Costello, and he had it near the first down marker, but the pass was a little too far over his head. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10, Olympia.
Then it looked like Anthony Aguirre had a chance to pick that off after the wide receiver couldn't get a hold of it.
2nd and 10, Olympia. From their own 23, Thatcher drops straight back. Scoots around a little bit. He's got a man wide open. Oh, and it's just overthrown a little bit. He had McCann, but he led him just a little too much. McCann had gotten past the defense, the secondary, and if he had just aired it a little bit closer to McCann, he could have had that for a reception, but the pass was incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10 for Olympia from their own 23.
Yeah, it just looked like a backside post, and the wide receiver was using their speed off the cut and just needed to put the ball there.
3:13 remaining. Thatcher, they're looking to get something here. They're looking for the backward screen, and they do. They've got a man. He's going to stay on his feet. The pass is caught by Cody Costello. They rolled out to the right. Thatcher looked back to his left. He had Costello for a big gain. And this gain will give the Olympia Bears a first down at their own 42-yard line. So nice job by Olympia setting up the screen pass. So they are still alive here, getting close to midfield.
And they are coming out with a passing game, 4 in a row now.
Thatcher, he's got a man open again. He's looking to go. Oh, and there's
it's intercepted
by Cody McCauley. McCauley, he's heading upfield, and in the case, it's gone loose. Who's got it? Who's got it? The Wolves are
Man, this is a
indicating that
pile.
they have
This
it,
is a pile.
But Olympia saying that they have it. We'll have to see when the referee
sure
separates.
No, it's an SK!
And the Wolves have it. The pass was intercepted by Cody McCulley, and on the run back, he was near midfield, and as he was going down, he fumbled the ball, but the Wolves were able to recover it, and it almost looked like there was holding on the defense, but there was no penalty flag, so the Wolves take over.
That was Pat Kelly on the fumble recovery there, in the right position at the right time.
Well, and usually in a situation like that, you like to just have the defender just fall down. So Fullington hands the ball off to Valle.
Oh!
To the outside. There goes Victor Valle. They're not
Will
going
he
to
catch him?
He's at
No,
the
5!
Touchdown, South Kitsap! No, wait a minute. They're going to call him out of bounds. The referee is bringing him back. It looked like he was going to get into the end zone. Looked like he was going to get into the end zone, and we have an injured Olympia player down on the field. Victor Valle from long distance near midfield. About a 50-yard run by Victor Valle, almost got into the end zone, but the referee signaled him out of bounds at the 4-yard line. His foot just barely stepping on the out-of-bounds line, but the Olympia sideline waiting for a moment as they have a player who is down on the field. We haven't been able to see who it is. We can't see a number yet. But this might all but seal it up for South Kitsap if they get into the end zone here right now, Kerry.
Yeah, I would have to say if SK can put this ball in the end zone for 6 right now, again, putting them up 2 scores, that would put Olympia under pressure to throw the ball again. And just like we've seen on that little series, the quarterback getting some pressure, just not getting the ball in the right spot. And SK's coverage right now is going to be focused on defending their pass. So if the passes aren't on, I could see right away SK taking another pass away from them.
Can't quite see who it is down on the field. It looked like number 26, Tim Ireland, but we'll have to wait and see once we get a clearer shot of who the Olympia player is down on the field. And that is number 26, Tim Ireland. And it looks like it could be a knee injury as they're helping him off the sideline. So it's a good sign that he's getting up and being helped off the field. So good to see that young man up there. But the Wolves will have a 1st and goal from the Olympia 4-yard line with 2:20 left here in the game.
And I'm assuming we're going to see a heavy dose of number 24 right now as we're on the 4-yard line.
The Wolves most likely coming out in the power I formation. 2 big blockers right in front of Victor Valle. As they are waiting for Ireland to be carried off the field, and he is.
Yeah, I could say running behind Chris Anderson and John Fuchs would be pretty nice.
Fullington hands off to Valle, and he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, South Kitsap. Victor Valle from 4 yards out as the Wolves get into the end zone one more time with 2:16 left here in the game.
That right there might have just knocked Olympia down.
Victor Valle getting into the end zone from 4 yards out, putting the Wolves ahead 27-14 as they await the extra point attempt by Hiram Davis. There's the snap, the kick is up, and it is no good. So the PAT is no good, and the Wolves lead Olympia 27-14 with 2:15 remaining in the game. Nice blocking up front there as Valle just able to get into the end zone with no trouble. So the South Kitsap Wolves give themselves a little more cushion.
Yep, following Chris Anderson and John Fuchs there with 2 nice blocks. End zone, no problem.
Like we said, the winner of this football game will go on to play in the first round of the state playoffs next Saturday, November 16th at 1 o'clock at Harry E. Lang Stadium in Clover Park. So the winner of this game will be playing the winner of the Kingco number 3 team, which is Redmond, who will play the SPSL North #1 team, which is Kent Ridge. So the winner of Kent Ridge Redmond will take on the winner of this game. And so far right now, it looks like it will be the Wolves as they enjoy a nice 27-14 lead with 2:15 to go here in the game.
Well, DB, like we said earlier, can't help but ask that question. How much did Olympia's having to play the last 2 weeks affect them tonight?
They've been playing a lot of football over the last week and a half, and you've got to imagine that it must be taking a toll on them as Hiram Davis kicks the ball out of bounds. And the Olympia Bears will get the ball at their own 35-yard line. So don't count them out yet, but there's a long road ahead for Olympia right now as they need 2 scores to go ahead or to tie the Wolves here, being down 27-14 with just over 2 minutes remaining in the game. Olympia will have the ball at their own 35-yard line, so they're going to want to try and get a couple, at least get 1 quick score, then probably go for the onside kick as Thatcher drops back. He's looking deep for McCann, and his receiver slips down. That was Klein. He had Klein over the middle. Kyle Klein, number 84, but Klein, trying to gain his footing underneath himself, slipped and fell near midfield, and the pass was incomplete, so it'll be second down for Olympia.
Well, you can tell SK is in their pass coverage. They got 3 down linemen. They've sent everybody in the backfield.
Thatcher hits Kirk out in the flat, gains a couple on the play and gets out of bounds. A 5-yard gain down to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for Olympia.
Looks like they got 6 defensive backs spread across the field. All the quarterback can see is maroon shirts downfield.
The Wolves in a prevent defense here. Thatcher dropping straight back. He's got his man open. Looks like McCann out on the right side. Past that first down marker. It will be a first down, getting close to midfield. As the clock is stopped while they move the chains, but they will start it quickly. Thatcher, they come out in a twin set. He's looking to his right. He's going for it all, and he's got a man, and it's overthrown, and the pass is intercepted by Cody McCauley, and this time he does the smart thing and just takes a knee. Nice job, nice play by McCauley there going down, because the last time he intercepted the pass, he fumbled the ball, but just like we talked about earlier, McCauley did the right thing and just fell down. So the Wolves will take over on the turnover. Cody McCauley's 2nd interception of the game, and the Wolves will have a first down at their own 23-yard line. And I can only imagine that with 1:44 remaining here that the Wolves are just going to try and keep the clock going. They hand the ball off to Victor Valle. Oh, and he's tripped up a little bit to the outside.
No, I think that's Jonathan Shepard.
You're right, Kerry. That is John Shepard, who's come into the game now. And Olympia will use a timeout to stop the play, to stop the clock here. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Olympia. So
I'm having a hard time seeing. Maybe that was 20. No, it was 27. John Shepard.
Shepard has come into the game and carried the ball a few times, spilling Victor Valle, who has had a huge night. So the Wolves look like they will keep their streak intact of making the playoffs. And I believe it's either the 23rd or 24th straight year in which they've made the playoffs. So doing a good job of pleasing the coaches and the fans and everybody of winning this game here tonight here at Joe Knowles Field.
South Kitsap has a great program, DB. They just, year after year, teach these boys the fundamentals, teach these young men how to play the game of football, and year after year for 20 plus years, they just keep on coming back. The program is strong, and again, it's going to be a program to be reckoned with for a number of years to come.
Fullington hands the ball off to Shepard one more time, and he loses his footing again, but he is down. And Olympia will call another timeout to stop the clock here. So it will be 3rd down and long to go for the Wolves. But again, Olympia is down by just barely less than 2 touchdowns. And the Wolves have possession here, and they will just try and run out the clock. But the Wolves look like they are well on their way to running their record to 9-0, and will be moving on to the first round of the playoffs once again.
And I'm sure there will be no rest. They will be starting early tomorrow, prepping for their next challenge.
The Wolves will be playing next week down in Clover Park. The game will be Saturday, November 16th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. At least that's what we have according to our information up here in the booth. And they will be playing the winner of Redmond and Kentridge, who will be playing Tuesday night. Kentridge undefeated and ranked 3rd in the state. The Wolves ranked number 6 as Fullington hands the ball off again. That is Charlton Mason with the carry, and Olympia will use their final timeout.
Looks like a little scuffle in the backfield. Oh, yeah. There was some pushing. A flag has been thrown.
There's going to be a penalty flag, and it looked like that they were throwing that in the direction of the Wolves. Maybe unsportsmanlike conduct.
Possibly a personal foul.
We'll have to wait and see what referee Steve Green says.
On both teams.
Offsetting penalties, so a couple of personal foul penalties offset, and it will be.
I have to say both teams were lucky there. Usually it's the last guy that gets the shove in that gets caught, but both of these guys were flagged.
It will be 4th down for the Wolves. And South Kitsap cuts a break there as they were offsetting penalties. If the Wolves had received that 15-yard penalty by themselves, they could have been scooted back and been in a little bit of trouble, as they would have had to have kicked the ball away deep from their territory. But like we said, it will be 4th down, and we'll have to wait and see what the Wolves do. I would imagine they'd be kicking the ball away, not taking a knee, otherwise Olympia would have great field position. So with 1:22 remaining, though, Olympia will be getting the ball back and have a chance at shortening this deficit. So the Wolves come out on offense. Nick Anderson will be back, and Olympia is not sending anyone back to receive the punt, so they must be sending all 11 men full force.
Yep, they're coming
trying to
for
block this thing. There's the snap. It's a little low. Anderson comes up, and the kick is away. They won't field it at all. They're just going to let it bounce, but it does take an Olympia bounce. And the ball will be down at the 47-yard line. So Olympia tried to block the kick, unsuccessful, and they will take over possession at their own 47. So the Bears will have a chance, but with no timeouts left, it will be a challenge for them and clock management.
Well, with a minute left, Darren, DB, I'd like to say thanks for having me in. It's been fun. There's nothing like coming to a high school football game with this intensity and not only be able to watch it, but yap about it. It's been great.
Thatcher rolling around looking for someone, just decides to keep it, and he's going to be taken down by a couple of Wolves. He was chased down from behind by Andy Sund, and the Bears are going to try and hurry up, maybe spiking the ball. With no timeouts remaining, with 49 seconds left, Thatcher, he's got a man open out in the flat, and the pass is complete, and he gets out of bounds.
Stopping the clock at 44.5.
Thatcher completes his pass to McCann. So Olympia with a little bit of life left here, but time is running out.
Yeah, if they're going to score, they need to score now. They're on the 40, about the 40-yard line. They need to get that ball going. Need to get it in the end zone now, so
Thatcher
they have enough
looking
time.
left. He's going for the home run ball, and he's got a man wide open. Oh, and he underthrows him. He had a man open.
Seen a lot of this half from Thatcher. He's underthrown 3 to 4 times over his last 4 to 5 throws. So I think it's getting hard to plan. It's getting hard to get a good pass off and follow through.
McCann and Klein were lined up right, and the secondary focused on McCann, but Klein was open, but was underthrown by Thatcher as he still looks for his man out in the right-hand flat, and the pass is incomplete. So it will be 4th down for Olympia here.
Comes down to this last play. Because if SK holds them, nil down, and the game will be over.
Actually, it will be 3rd down, so they do have a couple of plays left here, but like we said, with no timeouts remaining and very little time left on the clock, it will be tough. They send 3 wide receivers to the right, but close to the line of scrimmage. Thatcher, he's looking for a man, and he's got him on. It's batted down. Nice defense there. The pass is incomplete. The pass is incomplete from Thatcher to his intended receiver, and it will be, this is it right here, folks. This is 4th down and 10 yards to go for Olympia. They have the ball at the South Kitsap 43-yard line, so at least trying to get a 1st down to stop the clock.
Yeah, defending on the play was Nick Anderson. The outside backers have done a really good job tonight.
Olympia sends 4 wide receivers to the right side.
Empty backfield.
And they're going to take too much time. There was a little confusion on offense as Thatcher was trying to get Cody Costello set, but they were unable to do it. So they will have a delay of game, and it will be 4th and long for Olympia as they set up again with 4 wide receivers to the right side, usually meaning that will be the big Hail Mary. As Thatcher drops back, he's being chased from behind, and he's almost taken down by Devin Spencer. Thatcher escapes his tackle.
Is down.
He's taken down, though, right about midfield, and that should do it for the Wolves here as Olympia fails on its 4th down try. And with 20 seconds to go, South Kitsap leads Olympia 27-14. And all they'll need to do is just take a knee, and that will run the clock down here at Joe Knowles Field. So South Kitsap will come away with the win here and run their record to 9-0 and will advance next week to play the winner of Kent Ridge and Redmond, who will play Tuesday night in a little playoff game. So the Wolves, Fullington, he takes a snap and he drops down to one knee, and that should do it. So the South Kitsap Wolves run their playoff record streak and will advance to next week's 4A state playoff 1st round game.
DB, this was a very fun game to watch. Both teams played really well. SK just did an excellent job in the second half adjusting and prevailing for the victory.
And that'll do it. South Kitsap defeats Olympia 27-14 and goes 9-0 in the Narrows League. I'd like to thank Kerry Krumzik for joining me in the booth tonight. Stacy Edwards, who joined us earlier in the 3rd quarter. And South Kitsap will move on next week to the state 4A playoffs at Clover Park. We would like to thank the staff and the crew of the South Kitsap Video Production, as that will do it here from Joe Knowles Field. And we're going to throw it down to Amy Powell on the sideline. Amy, what do you have for us?
Wow, that was a great game indeed. A real example of what hard work and dedication comes to. Final verdict, the Wolves win it 27-14. So we hope you enjoyed the game tonight, and just in case you missed it before, we're going to send you one more time to the All-Star tape so you can see the video production crew. So from all of South Kitsap, until next time, good night and take care.
Starting at camera 1, he's a senior, he's a Star Wars fan, he's a 3rd-year video student, he's Brett Gillard. At camera 2, she's a frequent actress in Wolf Tracks, but she hasn't forgotten the little people and plans to one day be a counselor. Senior Heather Grantier. Backing them up, 2nd-year video student, a guy planning to go to college to get rich, senior Lonnie Johnson. On the sideline camera, he's a wizard with technical stuff, but his future goals are unclear because we can't read his handwriting. Ryan Berdinka. Also on the sideline, his greatest video achievement is making this all-star crew. He's quiet and likes long walks on the beach. Matt Meeker. Sideline reporter. She's planning to pursue a business career and she wears funny hats with ears on them. Amy Powell. Starting at audio and graphics, he often suffers from severe hat hair and plans a television career. J.J. Duncan, starting tape operator. He plans to attend Evergreen College and make us all wish we'd been nicer to him when he's famous. Chris Nelson. And splitting the director's chair. She's coming off major surgery but is playing through the pain and hopes to soon be back on her snowboard, Nikki Bilodeau. And the second half director. He plans to pursue a broadcasting career while also setting a peanut butter consumption record. He affectionately refers to himself as the man, Ben Blankenship. And those are the 2002 Video Production All-Stars.